Hey guys, welcome to the close. 2 hours left on a Friday, 2 hours left in an exciting week. It's been a very exciting week, a volatile week, an eventful week with the Fed. We're set to wrap it up. It looks like going to be in negative territory, although we are trying to make a little bit of a move back to the upside right now for the S&P. Russell, notably strong right now, 1.5%. The S&P down about 0.3%. It has been an interesting afternoon with AMC, obviously, making all kinds of moves back to the upside today. Not going to be able to show you the quote board, but I can show you the overall market. How about we start there? That might be a good place to look. 0.29 right now. It's tough to see there, pretty small, but this is the S&P 500. So we'll break it down for you. See what's moving. CERN, we talked about that possible deal coming for CERN, 14.3% still to the upside. FedEx, good report for them, 5.4. AAL, Dow, both back in positive territory. Delta nicely strong so far on the day. UAL, Alaska in there as well. Here's all the cruise lines down here, 5.8%, 5.4. Penn National moving around. CCL, Carnival up 4.4%. They will report on Monday before the market opens. So heads up for the travel names, Carnival included. Here we go. Retailers are lower on the day. Consumer durables also lower on the day. The banks trying to drag the entire market to the downside this afternoon. WFC among the leaders, 3.8%. In negative territory, Goldman Sachs also 3.4%, 2.2 there for Morgan Stanley. There's Oracle, 5.7. That's tied to this one over here, CERN, if you remember, or RCL in talks with CERN. The rest of the market kind of choppy so far. We had a bit of a negative showing so far for the oil markets, energy sector, back in negative territory, the entire thing, in fact. Same story for industrials. FedEx standing out there a little bit stronger than the rest. Here's the NASDAQ, how the NASDAQ looks this afternoon. Starbucks a little bit weak, 4.4%. NTES, 5.3% in negative territory. Peloton back to the upside today, 5.4%. It's had a difficult week. Moderna, 4.3%. There's Skyworks trying to bounce back after that move back to the downside we saw yesterday. Zoom back in positive territory. I mean, there's lots to discuss. Hey, it's quad witching, which means a whole bunch of things are going to expire on the options side of things, on the futures side of things this afternoon at the close of trading. So we will discuss quad witching. We will discuss some index changes, both on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ coming up in the next 2 hours. Going to be a little bit quiet, most likely, between now and about 3:30. Between 3:30 and 3:50, we'll start to get some volatility. And then the last 10 minutes of the day will be, pretty exciting. We'll kick things off, as we do every single afternoon, with a bit of a look back at what we were talking about in the pre-market this morning. Sean's going to get us going here with a look at one of his trades.
What's up, traders? Yeah, today, look, big day. First report for Rivian. So we had Rivian as, I thought it was going to be probably the trade of the day, but it was definitely the #1 stock on the sticky note. And we have our sticky note right here today. And I just only have 4 names on here. First of all, the Palantir bottom at 1780. You guys can check that out. Listed, whoops, right there, 1780. I don't want to draw on the screen here. 1780. And then Rivian here. Look, all I wrote down, bad environment to miss, man. Only 1 million in sales with a 90 billion market cap. That's not going to go well right now, guys. So as you can see, this is what we do. We actually wanted to short until 102. Are they able to hear me? No. Okay. Let's go back. You want to go back to Brendan temporarily? Okay. So we'll do this again here. 102 was going to be my high. We had the high in the pre-market of $100.50. So we were going to use 102 as a possible out if we broke lower.
Natalie's saying it's
through 102 there. So what we wound up doing, short 97. We missed that first 98 break. I put this line at every dollar. 97, 98, 97,
just make sure it's not
96.
The midday stream.
So we're trying to look for some key levels right here as we go, guys. So here's the breakdown. Boom, we missed the first break of 98. We get really patient. we wait for the 97 break. Once the 97 break happens, then we're like, yes, we're finally short here, Rivian. So then it just accelerates. This is all off the open. You can see 1, 2, 3, about 6 or 7 straight down red candles, followed by a little green, and then as it goes back down to the bottom, it cranks through 96. Big time, boom. We get out, 3 outs, but we still have shares. We're trying to hold this thing. We don't know where it's going to go. The all-time low is 95 and change, actually made on IPO day. So as it comes down, we highlight here 95 as well. So we talked about some of these levels on the way down, 96, 97, 98, and now 95. So when it bounces off 95 here, this should have been a reload area back near VWAP, but we didn't reload it there. So what can we do? Comes back down, get out in front of 95. Then when 95 breaks, we like it so much, we take it twice. Boom to the downside. And then you can see Rivian begins to just collapse. 1 red candle down. These are minute charts. This is a 1-minute chart. So as it collapses here, you do have this base being built between $92, $93. That seems to be okay. Comes back, we short again here, right? These are all shorts to try to build this short position. And then this is where it's like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. And we try to find an area to get out. So what do we pick? 97. So we actually begin to lose here on the way back up. The reason why I think this is important that we talk about it is we in no way lose as much as this, because remember, our main idea is to short, but once you get out up here, this is where the problem really starts to begin, because then it gets really choppy, and then we believe this 97 is going to hold. So again, a few more shorts, out, because we're noticing it's not even going back to 96. So scalping it out, then all of a sudden breaks through 97.50. We take the long and able to capture a little bit of long and get it at 99. So what was a perfect, clean idea here, would have been better to be short up here, but what worked perfectly started to get a little bit jumbled up here on Rivian as we reapproached some of those daily low levels here off the pre-market. So Rivian was a great trade. It's going to be my #1 stock. And again, it's because of what happened here in the first half hour, right? Once the volume starts to die off, and I think this is the important lesson here, is that you sort of got to think maybe a little bit differently, man. All of the sellers possibly gone here. Rivian starts to move back up. And right now, that's going to be the current price of Rivian, I believe anyways, 96 and change right now. So we're just bumping around here on Rivian. So it's your trade of the day. We hit it hard early and then just kind of got we didn't get messed up, but the stock kind of did in this area. Didn't give us too many good levels. At least we went long here and captured about $1.50 on the high side. So let's see if Rivian retests 100 today.
All right, guys, let's get into a few things that are moving around this afternoon. I think we're good. I think technical issues have been resolved. So let's continue along. Busy day, as we said, including Rivian still doing all kinds of volume. We also have AMC to discuss, even GME having quite the day. If you're looking for an absolutely free resource, guys, that is the morning watch list. We send it out every day before we come on at 8:30. Absolutely free to you. From us. We do all of your homework for you, put it in one neat spot for you so you can pull it up every single morning and follow along. I'm just watching this SPRB trying to make some big moves here. This is one from this morning. This Spruce Biotech, 36 million shares at this point, guys, just making fresh day highs as we speak. Back to the upside. There was a little bit of a low float on this one, but a nice look regardless. 350 just breaking here on a big volume spike again for SPRB.
What a weird day it's been on that it's Spruce Biosciences, but I was calling it Spiderweb in the morning show. So welcome everybody. It was weird. Like this was a great short all morning long off the open, and then accidental long and didn't hold on to it, and then you're going to see the spike. It finally got to that 350 level. Would have loved if it happened in the pre-market, but a big spike. I'm actually trading GameStop and almost a Donkey Kong Draftkings here up at their top, so kind of missed out on this Spruce. But if you do look, it's not the best looking daily. $33.75 is around that 50 period. You can see it's been hugging it the entire time. So that's a level I'd be looking at for a bit of a fade. If you got the break, maybe not a bad take profit price area there. So, lots to be looking at here today. It's been a pretty good recovery with the market, but we've gone green a couple of times, and let's see if we can't hold it in the NASDAQ. We haven't really broken out. It's been kind of a choppy-ish day overall. So stick to what's moving. We'll of course keep you abreast of what's going on right at the close with any large imbalances. There are some expected large ones and big ones. I mean, You have Airbnb and Lucid Motors both going into the index. Reweights are going to be huge on things like Apple just because of how much they've moved and how, like, it's just such a gigantic weight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, Apple has to get an adjustment down because of how big a weight it's become. So we'll be getting all of that to you here. It should be a wild Friday and quad witching day, although I guess because in the morning, I forget which one it is, expires. So it's like technically most of it's already done, or some of it's already done.
Yeah, we'll just, I mean, like I said, or like Neil said, we'll bring you guys the updated imbalance locator as that gets fed to us, and then we'll bring it over to you. The winner, really, I mean, I could have done, the thing is, the trade of the day could be a lot of different things. Neil and I was very, very active in the morning. We talked about that Palantir level. And just to check back in on it, we got out once it broke back down through 1890. Actually, we talked about that on the Market Movers show right after us. And then now Palantir right back to day's high. So this name seems to be working at these levels today, despite the NASDAQ only being up 0.2%. We do have some of these higher flyers today, like a Palantir. These innovation stocks, right? Some of these new high flyer companies, high valuation companies. Palantir is one of them. Another one, of course, is TDOC, which thank God came back to $100. We were buying this thing a bit here in the last little while, nothing lower than where we are now. You can see Teladoc on the daily chart has absolutely gotten crushed, breaking through 125, and this is just another one of those. I shouldn't. It's not really fair to say like one of those Cathie Wood stocks, but again, it's trying to be a game changer, new innovation, new technology. Teladoc today up 13% and still working. So there are some names like this. I mean, what was Roku? Roku made it all the way back to 225, and I don't know where it is right now. Yeah, 231 right now. So Roku, another one of these names that's up a nice percentage one more time today, and then of course AMC, which we now have 71 trades on here today. AMC's been really. Actually, I just got knocked out while I was doing that trade of the day there. You could see, man, we actually ignored this name all the way up, which is crazy. And those of you guys on the morning show, this is why I don't even want to show this. But once it broke 29, we scalped the crap out of it. And I just got mad. So I was just using more shares and hit it, got out a whole bunch of times at the top, did it. And then when it broke back down for 10-cent loss every time we got out. So making money on AMC today, again, a very, very good stock for me, but I don't have anything down here. All we've done is scalp even dollar breaks and then taking a 10-cent hit every single time it doesn't work. So it rips up, we take 20, 30, 40 cents, and then it battles back down, because at these levels up here, look, we would not do that, up here, because there's, we had the momentum. But when these levels started to break, it was very, very choppy back and forth. I can remove these, maybe I'll do that, and you can sort of see what I'm talking about here if I take off these fills. AMC just started to get, it started to get real choppy up here. All of these breaks, even the 29 break doesn't look super clean when you compare it to some of these other ones. 27 break, boom. 26 break right here, boom. Right? 25 breaks somewhere in here, upside, right? Here's the 24 break right here. So it kept on struggling. So then we'll put back our, we'll put back our trades, and you'll see what we mean. And as soon as we started to identify that, we just started to scalp it the same way. So most of the red ticks higher than the green ticks, which means that I'm pretty happy with that strategy. So let's wait to see where AMC goes now, but I might try it again at a 30 break.
What's crazy to me here is like AMC just pulled back, and I know Trader Pratt was mentioning this at the end of his show. Like, I'm in GameStop. I had a couple of decent shorts here. One of which, for some unknown reason, when it didn't break the high, I got out flat. I think I made a mistake when I went to the can, but that's neither here nor there. I'm now back into the short at 157. So AMC comes off and is below 30, and it's still up at the high on GameStop. So my whole theory was, for most of the move, GameStop was weaker. So I anticipated that if AMC got back below 30, this should be the easiest short ever to VWAP. That just hasn't been the case. So kind of stink. I mean, it is obviously, you take a trade. Losing is definitely going to be the cost of doing business. If it takes out the, this 159 high, I'm going to be gone. There was a question in the chat. Someone asked me, Lewis, is the time and sale tape lots of 100? Look, we're trading with Day Trade the World, so this is the P Pro 8 system. I don't know if that's what you're trading on. If you are, then yours will be the same as mine. These are real values. So like if it says one share, it's one share, and if it says 100, it's actually 100 shares. I'm sure. I don't even know if ours is customizable to that regard. I know my level 2 is.
You can hide the.
Yeah, you can hide smaller ones.
Yeah.
My level 2 is a board lots. Like each of these ones is 100, but my time in sales is oddly enough, real values. I don't know why I have them different. I guess it's just custom.
No, I don't think you can change the real
time of sales.
Yeah, because these is coming right from the market.
It's just right from the tape. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have direct market access here. So all of these, this isn't filtered by our broker or anything like that. So these are direct market access prints. So I would tend to agree with Neil on that one, that they're just the true prints.
Oh, Zoom.
What?
Ashutosh? Sorry, I mispronounced your name there, and apologies for that. We get lots of chats here. I did answer in the chat that I thought 200 was an okay level on Zoom, and it's up near 10%. Just keep your eye on the NASDAQ, because like we are 50 to 60 points from the high that we got to this morning. So when you have names which are really close to breaking out key levels, like this is 200 here on Zoom on my 15-minute, you're close to breaking out new levels. And if the futures don't necessarily run into resistance until a few points up from here, that means you might have to give a level like that runway. Like your idea might be, oh, I'm shorting it off 200. It could break this level, maybe run $1 or $2. Then the futures fail to get through the high, and we just end up range bound. Next thing you know, you've gotten burned out. So keep one eye on the futures for sure. I'd like it a heck of a lot better if it consolidated off this level. The futures tried to grind higher, then rejected the high of the day, which sits out on the NASDAQ. That sits at like 15,958 or so. So if it rejected that level and you were still barcoding at 200, and then you could short off the 200 level. But if we were to break that high right now, with the futures having room, I wouldn't put it on. The short that I got, one is in Draftkings. Essentially what happened there is, when we got to that high, it just sort of consolidated for me there, and it's still on the NASDAQ, Neil. It just consolidated. When it'll load, it just consolidated after breaking this top here at 2880, and it's just been holding this top the whole time. So I feel pretty decently poised here on Draftkings. I just took the breakdown the one time, didn't add to it. I've taken nothing off. If the market turns, I feel pretty confident this can go down to VWAP. If we break out that high on the futures, there is some runway still that we'd be talking about this taking out the top at 2920. Therefore, I know pretty much what my risk reward will be, and I'm well within the confines of what the NASDAQ is doing.
We're making moves here this afternoon, guys. Nikola just popping back up here, trying to get back to $10. Had a big spike there midday on this headline. They've actually delivered their first electric truck to California Port Trucking Services Company, Total Transportation Services, in which they have a letter of intent for 100 more of these things to be delivered. So that happened again about midday for Nikola, trying to get back to 10.
Okay. I didn't even.
That's more deliveries than arrival.
I didn't even realize that that Nikola was basically still producing cars and things like that. So, all right, Nikola, let's see here. Yeah, back to 10. I mean, 10's a really, really key level, obviously, there, and you get this big spike up there at that 9 rate where Brendan was talking about, I guess. 1 p.m., a big spike up there to 10.03. Let's take a look here on the 20-minute chart. I don't know if this is a key level or not. Yeah, we bounced up to $10 a couple, I guess it was 2 days ago. So maybe there is going to be something there on Nikola near this $10 spot. But I guess 10.50 ultimately is going to be the high. Like I said, I'm not too interested really in any of these EV plays right now. I'm already into Fisker. I've got a couple going right now. Tesla, obviously. We've talked about that a little bit on the show, just a little bit. And then Ford. So for me, I'm going to leave Nikola alone right now and just wait to see. Maybe it's a bid if we can get back into this area. I'd consider it 960, 970, where there's clearly a wall here. So that's what I'm looking at for Nikola now. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, because yeah, increased volume, definitely something we want to trade. 15 million shares here. So back into this area, maybe a little more interesting. But we are kind of barcoding as well at this 980 mark. But you drop below 980, we probably get into here anyways. So I think a 970 or so bid to start, kind of where this all got going, is a smart play for Nikola.
Yeah, and look, I don't know. I'm not seeing enough for me to want to trade Nikola here today. That's fantastic for them with the deliveries. I mean, it would be an amazing turnaround for Nikola, is all I will say, if they're able to make that a success. I can't say I would bet on them. If you want to, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to make a play in hydrogen, I would be much more inclined to make it through Plug Power. It just feels like, I understand both are going to be risky, speculative type of plays, but I think just go with the infrastructure side on hydrogen if you believe in it. I know Elon Musk does not. He's always regularly mocking that. There was someone asked about Peloton highs. You're going to get a lot of charts like this for beaten up names where you broke it. So Peloton was like, this was the great for like multiple days. Like 41 was a great short level. But then when it finally broke that level, there was this wick off top to 42.75 or so. And we're retesting that high. You're not seeing me short this. And again, I've got Draftkings and in GameStop. So I kind of feel like it wouldn't make sense to then be short Square in front of 200 and then be short Peloton in front of, it wouldn't make any sense to do all of that. Like, you just pick one or two. If you have all four and the market continues to scream and these high valuation names that have been beaten up all continue to go, well, you're just going to lose on more symbols. If I like these better, you just take more shares in the ones that you like the most, as opposed to stretching it too thin. Because they're somewhat related here in the event that they're all beaten up high valuation names or zero revenue name, whatever you want to call them. But Peloton, your level is this 42.75, maybe give it to 43. And then there's probably a little cover to 43.50 to 44. I'm not going to, that's such a wide berth that I would never want to short something with that wide of a berth up at the top, unless it was earlier in the day, like right at the open, when you can kind of get a huge move. You can be holding on to it for the rest of the day where you are giving it $2 or $3, and then you're confident that you have a chance to get that gigantic of a move. While all that was happening, oh, goodness, I can go to this thing. I haven't used the disco ball in a while, but I was on that screen because they're all different now. And there it is. I've been sitting in this GameStop since before we came on, and it finally touches down here for the first buck. And I'm sitting here to try to grab a couple of bucks at 155 half, and then try to hold the rest for VWAP. And this is all while, AMC's still holding below $30. So I would have expected this to have happened a while ago. It's just taking some time here for this to roll over, despite the fact it was relatively weak for most of the, relatively weak to AMC for most of the session.
Speaking of rolling over a little bit, I'll show you NBAX here in a second, but this was the story we told you about this morning. It was up actually more than that at one point. WHO finally adding Novavax, their Covaxin, to the official list of approved, according to WHO anyways, approved vaccines for COVID-19. So as I was saying, just a bit of a dip there for NVAX. It did break back through some support around 214. Some volume went off. Trying to bounce a little bit here, but it has been a pretty good day, though, for Novavax again.
That's the golden ticket, right? The minute you get that approval, then you could start selling, companies could start buying from you, and that's what it's all about. I know Neil talked about Peloton quickly, so I tweeted out that Peloton was a buy, and then I did start a small position on a 40 break. I think the price I have is 40.05 there, and again, the reason why is just it's beat down a little bit too much. I still think that they have a product, a sellable product. Obviously, at this price, it's a lot better valuation than what it was at 100. And they've corrected for that. The market already knows. They've already guided forward. They've adjusted their numbers. And so at this value, $42, coming from, it's coming from even higher than that. I believe was 130 the high? Yeah, no, there it is. I was going to say 130 is the high there, but we had 170 before on Peloton. And honestly, although the world has obviously changed, we could be going back, unfortunately, to certain levels of concern here for the variant and lockdowns and things like that. More and more sports franchises right now getting hit with COVID. We've been talking about a lot today, fantasy football playoffs. The Maple Leafs missed yesterday, and now today 2 Maple Leafs have COVID.
Oh, really?
It's John Tavares and somebody else is in COVID protocol, and they're supposed to play Vancouver tonight. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but honestly, Peloton, high quality product. Hopefully they have recurring revenues, which I know the street likes. And so that's why, for me, I like Peloton, and I think it's a buy. I don't know if it's a buy today, up 7%, but any more dips into those levels that I like of $40, and I think we buy some more of that. That's just my opinion there on Peloton. And then, I don't know, I don't look at Novavax much, but yesterday, I think it was 61.50 was the high for Pfizer there yesterday. Basically 61.45 there. Today you're giving a little bit back. I still think, Pfizer probably pulls back at some point, but they just re-guided today. I think it was 30 billion in sales they're expecting for their vaccine and some of their pills. I don't know if it's everything combined, but either way, man, there's been a big windfall for Pfizer and BioNTech, so that name continues to work. A 20-minute chart, even if you just go back to December 10th, which is a week today, you're at $51. So in 1 week, you've gone from 50 to 60 with real no pause, except for today and a little bit yesterday. So off the highs, this normally gives back. I still like Pfizer better than all of the names that we've gone over.
Yeah, it's just a better overall company with a dividend. You just feel a little bit more secure, I think, when you got that one on. There's still, I have my eyes on Oracle here just because it's continuing to be under pressure. There was never any update in terms of solidifying that the potential deal with CERN, but you're still seeing them under pressure. Obviously, that's just the market pricing in a couple of things. An old tech growth name that's going to be pulling back a little bit, and then the second part of that equation is going to be the $30 billion price tag if it happens to be a dilution of shares. I'd have to double check their cash position, but it's very likely that it might be some kind of a combination. Although, hey man, Oracle could easily do it in cash most times. So. We'll see what happens with this stock. It should be on the radar for the rest of the week. At some point, we're going to get an announcement. Usually, this is the kind of thing where a company this big, a rumor of a deal like that, it's only a matter of a few days before you get confirmation. Brendan?
That time of year when a lot of people are coming out with forecasts for not only stocks, but guys, let's talk cryptos because it's the end of the year. It's been a crazy year for the crypto markets, to say the least. We're heading into a new year and a lot of people coming out with their ideas of what is to be expected coming up in 2022. I'll show you one headline here. This pretty much sums it up. After a big year for cryptocurrencies, what's on the horizon for 2022? We've obviously had a big dip here in the past couple of weeks for not only Bitcoin, but all of the major cryptocurrencies. Let's discuss, guys, what is to come.
Regulation? One of the things that recently came through, obviously that's an easy thing to say, I suppose, because there's a lot that needs to be regulated. But there's another article I can show you just quickly here because, Fed Chairman Powell was recently talking about cryptocurrencies. There was also that little summit where I thought that was pretty informative. Some of the questions from Congress were rather intelligent, I want to say. And it does show the fact that there are people that are willing to try to understand what is necessary. And I think the focus for Powell might be this quote here that I saw, and it was just, stable coins can certainly be useful and efficient consumer serving part of the financial system if they are properly regulated, and right now they are not. So, at this particular time, it's been one of those causes for concern. A lot of people have said there's a lot of contagion and leverage risk when it comes to stable coins, and then you have to think of what assets do they have against, and do they need to be disclosed, and how are they going to regulate it? All in all, I think the most important thing to consider when you talk about that level of regulation is it is necessary. When you want that institutional money to come in, and I'm not saying Bitcoin here is going to 500,000, but when you have people like Kathy Wood saying it's going to 500,000 or the 150,000, a lot of that is because of institutional money coming into the market in a big way, and that just doesn't happen full-fold without more regulation, especially in stable coins, which, let's be real, like a lot of the back and forth transaction nature and a lot of the stability has come from, in the past, the use of stable coins, which has come under some scrutiny before. I think it's ultimately going to be a good thing down the line. But as far as what the best coins have been recently, I'll leave that one to you, Sean. I'm more of a, I hate saying gold and silver because that's not what Bitcoin and Ethereum are, but I'm a 1-2 punch kind of person and keep it simple. But there have been some really more interesting players in 2021, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah, Bitcoin, and I have the Bitcoin chart up here. It's been pretty good, so far in 2020, obviously, coming down through. This is a daily chart. But, even if you go back here, this is just, September, October, November. You can go back. This is 2021 right here. So we start at 30,000, basically, and we touch a high of 70. So to me, actually, it wasn't super violent. It wasn't super crazy. You did have some nice moves, but key levels kept holding. 30,000 held there. 40,000 held right here. We've really had a problem up here near 60 and 70, but for anybody that bought up top, they're obviously going to be caught here, but we still have some love back down to 39,000, 40,000. Let's see if we can touch that here. Again, there was an article, and actually I want to talk about this real quick because you talked about some coins that are getting a little bit of love here. Look at this, the NFT space. So that is a story that sort of happened here in 2021 where NFTs have sort of started to go crazy. And I'm going to talk to you about Matic, which is a coin that does deal with a lot of NFT digital art. Look, Sotheby's here, 17 million for one NFT raised 17 million. I'm not going to click it to go to it, but there you go. So they've also launched an auction house for the metaverse. So NFT only marketplace. So I think that goes also to some of the points that we were saying about worldwide acceptance now. When you have the big dogs now starting to open up, different areas of auction houses, I think that that's very, very important. And then right here, here's a list of crypto that we keep on talking about. And if you go down here, I want to find Matic. Where is it? Polygon. It's right here. It's at 212 right now. If we're going to click on this one, you're going to see just an explosive move to the upside here over the last year. You can see this is over 2 years, 67,000% up. Back down here in January of this year, 1 cent, okay? And right now, your Matic, $2.12. So from 1 cent down here all the way to 212. There's many of these Solana as well, but Matic is one that I know some NFTs are building on top of. So for me, if you're going to look at Polygon, which is the coin Matic, I think that's something that you can look at moving forward. Like from going from 1 cent here and basically barcoding all the way February, March 14 cents. But check out this high. This is the thing about what's happened here recently in 2021. This is May. So if you even bought, like basically a lot of these coins are now starting to move a little bit more like equity. So you can start to look now at charts and actually treat them as realistic properties rather than saying, oh, I'm going to buy this like at 1 cent and hopefully it blows up. You can now start to pick and choose some key levels here, like right here, this level right now at $1. That's held a couple times here on Matic. So, we have the same similar thing on Cardano, goes from 17 cents to 350, and then Polygon Matic, another name that I like. So there's a few good names here. We could basically go on forever talking about different. The thing is, they all have different projects.
Yes.
And I think that's the other thing too. The more we understand about this world, DeFi and things like that, the more you can now begin to pick and choose which coins and which projects you like, because this is going to be the future. I really like crypto, and I think you have to have between 5 to 10% of your portfolio in something. And I would choose Bitcoin or Ethereum just as a base, and then start to do some research and pick some of these flyers.
Yeah, only the beginning for sure. We'll have the 28th, guys. Join us the 28th of this month. Mr. Wonderful will be back on the live show. We will ask Kevin O'Leary. I mean, he's been a huge proponent of this. He's been a huge supporter of cryptocurrencies this year, speaking openly, at every opportunity, essentially. We'll get his take on what is to come in 2022 for cryptocurrency markets. A lot of people still discussing this AMC move today because it's pretty impressive to say the least. If you missed it, No Way Home, $50 million in a midweek preview showing, which was the third highest ever for a midweek preview showing heading into its opening weekend. That was the headline this morning pre-market that was behind this. Obviously, there's been other catalysts, namely some online support as well for AMC today. But lots of people still watching AMC, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's something. I don't think there's anything wrong with that story. I find that really strange. Like, I just think that, like, with this environment right now, I just find it strange that, like, this movie that I know was getting a lot of hype and I've seen a lot of ads for it, and I definitely think that it is driving, obviously, this move today. It just seems a little bit strange to me that this comes out, and it's just such a huge move here for AMC. Like, does that really make AMC go up 22+%? I mean, I just think that here, again, I've been long AMC. I mean, every single one of these is a long. I was long yesterday, 22.50, 23. We were just killing the trade the last couple days on the long side after going short on Monday, and then basically 3 straight long days. And then today, during this whole move, man, I was just caught up in the morning, not really looking at anything, not looking at AMC, but looking at some of the other names we had. We talked about Rivian, Microsoft, Palantir, and things like that. And I just said enough was enough. When it started to break some of these key levels up here, I just started hitting the long and basically just scalping it like crazy. And I think we should do it again right now at 30. I mean, I should have done it again at 30 is what I'm meaning. And I think we can go long now and then use some of this as the bottom. And if these stories are accurate, and which I don't have any reason to believe they're not, this is probably going to do huge over the weekend then, right? So if this is going to be huge over the weekend, what kind of a move maybe could we have on Monday? So that's part of the story here. again, big protection levels here. 28, we've passed that. That's 28 right there. Back to August, we've taken that out. You know, possibly we start to take out some of these levels on Monday, which is 32 and 33. And then you get this bottom right here of 34.50, which possibly gets taken out again. And then we could retest 40, 40, 50, and then after that, you know, it's going to be anyone's game. Guess what happens after that? But hey, look, AMC running on. I'm just surprised. Like for me, I'm not that hyped up about that movie, but obviously other people are. Third biggest in history. Yeah. So hey, congratulations, man. Anybody that believed in this AMC story getting paid the last couple of days.
Truth of the matter is, like, I would be like, I'm a fan. I'm a comic book fan. I would be going out to watch this film if I wasn't likely stuck this weekend watching The Grinch a million times on DVD, and that's a long enough story as it is. But anyways, it's Netflix and The Grinch. It's like every single year they lose the rights to it for December because that's the way their deal works, and they get it back in January. So you got to find some other way to have it. So my wife decided she should buy a DVD, which I had to dig out the DVD player and hook it up. It's just a long story. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I had one trade that I meant to have on AMC this morning. And then I went to GME, and that was at that 28. The trade I didn't mean to have was when I accidentally went 10x long, well, 100x long on AMC, and I just got out of it right away. But now I'm trading GameStop because as far as I'm concerned, like if you look at this on AMC, I think a lot of the shorts are just sort of covering. It's been a comfortable ride for them, but that is a huge wipeout bottom at $20, and then you have this consolidation break. I mean, you get witching coming through as well, options expiration, end of the year. I think some profits are getting taken on AMC, whereas, you know, GameStop here hasn't had, like, it's not as crazy of a bottom. It's still up at a 155. It's up 8% today, but that's like a third of what, well, I mean, it's like not quite a third, but just over a third of what AMC is going to be up. And then also on top of that, you do have this level here going back to Monday when it absolutely flushed through this 160. So that's kind of why I've been preferring GameStop, which you can see I have shorted several times, and it's been a bit of a mixed bag for me, but it's been relatively comfortable holding in onto it at the top, and I'm constantly looking for it to break down to VWAP here. If AMC takes out the top, I would anticipate, no, actually right now, like AMC is a good dollar away from the top here. No, sorry, not dollar, like a good 50 cents away from the top, and GameStop's still not really doing anything. So the correlation doesn't necessarily feel as strong as it was earlier on in the session. It's almost like there's a tiny bit of divergence coming here. Obviously, they're not going to completely diverge. That wouldn't happen.
I mean, you're I was going to say self-proclaimed nerd, but I know you don't take offense to that, so that's why I'll say that.
No problem.
Disney owns Marvel, correct? And Spider isn't there some sort of a, doesn't Marvel own Spider-Man? Or wasn't there some sort of a...
There's a lot, it's...
Because why is Disney not popping is what I'm trying to get. And I'm not asking you for the answer, but it's just like, doesn't that make sense? Like Disney should go then too? Like Disney today up 0.07?
My problem with Disney is I've had a lot of trouble in this. I think a lot of people, if you own Disney shares, have had a lot of trouble trying to understand what is making Disney move or not move. It's like,
Come to my chart.
Is it go to Ishan's chart. Like, is it a reopen play? Is it a streaming play? Is it a little bit of both? I've been thinking it's a little bit of both, and I thought that's why it would be a good safety play. And the market's like, no, it's gonna get punished when the streaming numbers aren't good enough. But who knows how many people are actually even paying? That's problem number one. But then it's gonna get punished when we have COVID issues. But it doesn't get any benefit from the reopen either. So it's like, I don't know what, it has all the bad negative catalysts in each of those spaces, and then whenever there's a positive one, it just doesn't seem to do anything. And
that's why I brought it up.
I don't know what to do with this stuff.
And it wasn't trying to throw shade, and I haven't even been reading the chat. Well. I hope I haven't been throwing too much shade. But, it's just one of those things, guys, where I just didn't think that the news itself created this move on AMC. I really think it's apes uniting again tonight, man. Buying up those calls, gamma squeezing this thing to the upside. And I mean, again, one big movie should not, in my opinion, bring this thing up 22%. But again, this is not a commentary on the stock by any stretch of the imagination. I just think today, based on that story, I think that cannot possibly be really what's behind this. There's obviously, very, very strong push here from the retail. And we all know who, and I'll have to check out the numbers. I don't know, Brendan, if you have a sort. I mean, we'll put right on the spot. I don't think we can get it now, but if there's a source for how many shares retail is still holding of AMC, because I knew it was a huge percentage. Actually, I should just go to you guys.
It was 80%.
You probably. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if the shares are still being held, and I don't know where. I mean, I could find it probably just by a simple Google, but maybe you guys would know. If you're still holding the shares, then that would be obviously an explanation for this, because people that want AMC shares, if there's no one sitting on the offer because there's no one selling besides programs, then yeah, you're going to take these guys out. They're going to pull bids or offers, and that's what creates this move upside. So look, we can sit here and probably talk literally for hours about the dynamics of these kind of moves, but I just think that honestly, this 22%, I just don't want to lay, the thesis that because only the movie. This could be the beginning of a much bigger move back to some of those levels for AMC. So just get ready for that. Remember, it was just last January where it all started, man. So AMC does have that capabilities one more time. I mean, if you go back here, look at the calendar, right? This is June, and then this is where it was sleeping giant last year at this time. So, and then boom, it started to go. So maybe something's happening here again with AMC, and I know that I'll hope for that as well, as most of you are, I would think. So
Browns game is now on Monday.
Oh, okay.
That's so, the first.
Now I don't have to worry about the defense, because now it looks like, I guess, Baker and all those guys will probably.
They'll probably play.
Well,
I'm starting the Browns defense again.
And that just goes back to that COVID thing. So you know what? That's another thing, guys. I was thinking about that today. Draftkings is up a lot right now. So it was up anyway, 6, 7, 8%, I think it was. Yeah, so 6%. And look at Draftkings. Has been an absolute destruction here of Draftkings. And I'm so happy. I cannot believe there's so many stocks that I'm sitting here holding the bag on. You guys know that. And I'm not going to say them all because we already know what they all are. But Draftkings was one that we were able to get out of. That in Coinbase. Coinbase didn't get out of everything, but I did get out of Draftkings up here. And wow, what a fall down this has been. And again, more things canceled. If sports becomes an issue again for Draftkings, look, everyone's going to be at home and they're not going to be able to make any bets. So yeah. I think that could be a problem for Draftkings.
College basketball.
You know what? There's going to be tons of sports. So I'm not as negative about this whole Omicron thing as maybe I need to be. I just think let's get over this. Let's get over the Christmas break. I think there may have been a mistake putting everybody in stadiums again and things like that. But I ain't no doctor, so we'll just see what happens here, or statistician or anything. I don't know what the curve is, but I just think that's not good news for Draftkings.
Not necessarily. Yeah, definitely not necessarily good news. Just before we go on, I want to this SPBR. It did have a bit of a pullback off 387, then consolidation lower. I'm in now at 369. 369.5 or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just rounding down. 369.4. And I'll give it to the high of the day. I actually want to give it one more leg to double up my position. So if it bounces to the high, can't break the high of the day, or can't take out like 390, so 387 the current high, and then I'd want to get on the way down and add to this position and double it up, and then see if it puts the retracement in. Obviously, it's been a pretty good run for it here. It's not really a day two move because it was an aftermarket move. So when you show it on the daily chart, like it's going to seem like, hey, it's a second day rallying. Not entirely true. That was an aftermarket move. So day one for SPRB, if it can take out the high, it's got some runway, because I think the next levels are like a 430, up to like about a $5 range here that it had some consolidation. So I wouldn't want to hold it through $4 in the high. Thank you there, Yuri, pointing out that Rivian is back to 100. I
just went over to Rivian.
Back to 100, eh?
Nah, not really, but it's trying to go there.
No, not there yet.
But that's close enough.
It's close.
Yeah, here's Rivian. We talked about that. We did our trade of the day on that one, and we've sort of left it all afternoon. Obviously doing other things. You saw me trading AMC as well. We had a good Microsoft. We can review that in a bit anyways if we want to. 101, just looking. So these are these areas. We talked about 102. We wanted to get out of that. Really 104 maybe on some of these dips over the last, this is yesterday when earnings came out. It was like a rough ride up and down there, and then sort of settled down around this 104, 105. And then this morning we're down here sub-hundy, and right now we're starting to go back up to the upside. So this is another spot where there's been an area of concern. So I think I'm going to go short right now, and there goes AMC through 30 again. So I think we should just go short there. Go long on AMC and then hold it and see what we do. But we'll put an offer here on Rivian, see if we can get some shares in on this name. It's going to be SSR, so we have to take the shares. Oh, did I get those? Yeah, so short, we're trying to get short 85s here. And then if we can get those, you'll see right now down 10%. We are short, but we only got part filled there, so hopefully we can get some. Hopefully we can get some more. But right now, Rivian down 10%. So what that means is you're not going to be able to say, oh, I want to get short. Let me hit this bid. Yep. You're going to have to get hit somewhere in between the bid and the ask. Okay, so that's how you're going to have to get filled on Rivian. And then you can see I just got baby ticked there. Hopefully it comes back up. And then I'm just going to play this as simple as it can be. As simple as it can be. If I'm going to go short, and let's see. This is stupid because I know you guys know the answer, but where's my out? So right now I'm going to be short. Let's say I get the full load here at 98.85. Where is my out going to be? So I'm long a short Rivian. Where's my out going to be if my short is right here at 98.85? So let's see. There it is. Mookie Wilson wins. A hundy is right there. So congratulations, Mookie Wilson. Yeah, 100, man. Just play off the even dollar levels. Like, let's take $1 worth of risk here. I think that's worth it, right? $1 worth of risk to see if Rivian wants to come back in here near the end of the day. So like we keep saying, man, it is what it is. Let's see what Rivian now wants to do here heading into the end of the day. So there it is, 98. We are now, whoopsies. It's ripping. So we may get out of this real fast, but 100 is going to be our out. That just ripped up there. So I don't know what that was all about, but maybe we'll take another piece short and then we'll get out 100. That's my out anyways.
I was just saying, I was just on the offer at 99.65. In the morning, the short at the open was 99.85. This time at 65. Of course, I made a point of saying a little bit earlier, it's like, yeah, you can't really take every one of these names to the short side because they could all burn at once. But I like Rivian at 100 this morning. It's hard not to like it now. I'm in the GameStop. I have taken a leg out, and I did just get back into SPRB, and I already have Draftkings. So, this NASDAQ, if it gets off the bottom here, you are going to see a bit of a push to the upside. As GameStop actually just ticked me out there, that just made a fresh high. So, again, muted success. I've been able to scalp some out of GameStop, and then it just took the rest out. I'm surprised you're
I'm not in AMC.
Oh, you didn't get the long? Yeah, but GameStop just took out the high.
Talking.
And AMC, no, it didn't take out the high. So it's not having the same divergence. But, Rivian, I'll give Rivian a few. Only reason I'll give Rivian a little bit past that 100 is because this morning, if you look here, when it broke 100, it did get to 50 cents above a couple of times and then rejected. So I'm willing to give it that much room. If it breaks 100, I want to see if it holds a bid 50 cents above. Otherwise, if it breaks that 150 cents level, I can always just get out in that regard and lose an extra 50 pennies there. If it falls and flushes here, I think we can go back down to 97. So I think the risk to reward is still okay.
There we go. You guys are asking about that AMC shareholder percentage. Here we go. This is right from NASDAQ.com. 161 and change million. Institutional ownerships there, which is about 31.3%. If you go back over here, I can show you 500 and let's call it 14 million on the total outstanding float. So 161 million institutional owned.
Higher than I would have thought.
So what was the percentage of? It was 161 into 5.
It's 31.3 institutional. So.
Yeah,
70-ish.
Okay, so that seems lower retail than it was before, but I actually thought it was 80% the last I had heard or read, and I probably read it in an article. So you always take those with a grain of salt, to be honest. So it's still a substantial number, which means you have a substantial amount of shares which are simply not going to be heavily traded and accessible, which does lower the amount available, which can lead to a little bit more crazy price action. SPRB, I just got the next leg in at 380. So we'll see how that one goes. Rivian's still floating at that $100 level. So we're still pretty much flat on Rivian that I just got into. And I am willing to add to this Rivian trade the same way I was looking to add to SPRB where it consolidated lower. The difference in Rivian, however, is I kind of only want to add if it's a failed break at 100. It has to break 100 and then fail to get past that 150, maybe trap some breakout longs, and then start to come down. Like that's the way I would envision wanting to get into this trade here. I'm no longer concerned too much about AMC because I'm not in the GME trade, but I'll still have that one up just to see if it takes out that high of the day. I'm shocked that GameStop took out the high without AMC going, so I want to see if that can follow through.
Yeah, here goes. Rivian's going to break 100 right now. So watch out for this one. It's going to break 100 right now, and then we will be out. But we did test that 100 level. Should have just played the momentum. I mean, we talked about the trend is your friend, and here I am shorting this thing. The shorts really haven't worked at all. I mean, they worked here. I guess they worked right there. But oh, I just got taken out. Okay, did it break 100? I guess it must have. See, is that like a dark pool wick that just happened there?
That's a dark wick.
There it is. Anyways, it broke 100. I just saw it. Did it even break 100? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there it goes. So, I don't know, man. The problem is that the spread opens up huge there. So it is breaking 100 every time. I mean, so that's it. Rivian there, we did get clapped out right there. So we'll go beat it up right now a little bit here on Rivian as we get a little fancy with it. And it doesn't look like it wanted to do much. That wick to the top side there, 165 cents. So I mean, whether or not it printed up there or not, I don't know.
I saw no bid above that price.
So we'll wait on it now. But we are now out of Rivian. But I think we can go back short now, actually, because it doesn't look like that was a true break. So we'll short again, and then this time we'll put like $100 and maybe 26 cents or something like that. And then if it does break higher now, then we can be like, okay, that actually did happen, not just dancing around. So we'll go about 125. If it breaks above that, then we'll get out. But I'm gonna test it again, same amount of shares. So if we lose here again on this, then it's going to be back-to-back. Really, the only thing that really hurt was that first one. But that wasn't a big position, so we doubled it there, and now we put on the exact same. So if this does fall in, we can make this back just by this going through 99 now. So that's it. Looks like maybe we got a fake false breakout there at 100. So we hit the short again, and that's, we do that every time there. Like we got 115 as an out, so $100.15, and then we just punched it back in now at quarters. So you can see 3/4 where we're short. Let's see if it can get back down here. I have no idea what that candle was all about. Huge volume spike on that 100 break, right? So yeah, okay, here it comes back in a little bit now. So we'll take a bid. I'll take a bid down here. If we can get back down to 99, I will take one of those bids. But I don't know, man. The momentum right now is just huge on Rivian, so I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I mean, I held on. It was kind of a BS wick. You're going to see it up there. But like I said, the bid didn't travel up to that price. So I'm going to have a bid in front of 99. I'll have another one in front of 98, then ride it to then basically try to ride it down to VWAP. And SPRB at the same time. That one just took out the top, so I got the stop out. I actually had an accidental long because I didn't get that last entry. I said I would give it room to one more entry. I had my stop for more shares. I got out flat. It's just broken $4 itself. Like I said, it has some runway to that 430 level, so I kind of want to stay away from just jumping into the short again on this particular name and then see if it doesn't have that runway. I'm kind of surprised here with the NASDAQ starting to run that Draftkings, as all of these are starting to break the highs, Draftkings isn't moving. So I feel pretty comfortable that this is somehow relatively weak. The NASDAQ still trying to break higher. We've ground to a halt on Draftkings, even the volume, which would lead me to believe that it could be falling back in. With any position that's, by the way, anything we show here, and one of the reasons why I might avoid a Zoom and try to trade some of these small cap names, anything that you think is in an index or isn't an index that could be subject to rebalancing, I think be very, very cautious trading those in the last half an hour of the day. You could start to see some crazy movement wicked in and out. For those asking what a purple arrow is a short sale. In our system, let's show something where I've done both ways. So SPRB would be a good example. If you see a down arrow that's red, that means a sell out of a long position. Green arrows always just mean a buy, which can be buying back in a short, but it can also mean going long. But if it's a red arrow, that means I was long and got out. That looks stupid because I got out right away, and if I had held it, it would have been a gigantic winner, but it is what it is. And look, if you short it, you can see short down here and then took the hit at 391. So purple arrows, always going to be shorts. Sean and I have the same on our charts just so that you guys understand what it means on our system. So never a bad question to ask that. I just have these two positions left, looking for something to try to grab a long in. I was looking earlier at Pfizer, trying to pick up lows on that stock, and it actually did recover, but I went in way too early at that 60 level, and it's right back holding above 60. I'd like that one a heck of a lot better if it was near that low of the day. I kind of feel like bouncing off the low of the day would be interesting on a rebalance day for some of the stronger names.
Yes, sir. I got something long, AMC, and we're going to see if this is going to work. I'm going to try to diamond hands this thing as much as I possibly can down to, for me, it'll be pretty much a diamond hand trade down to 29. So if we break through it here, we're going to give this one up. It's been, we started the show talking about how AMC's been super choppy after this break. So basically, since noon, it was a nice move up here that we actually hit. And then since noon, barcoded a little little bit here at 28, then took off again. Since then, you know, it's been a pretty tough trade if you're going to be day trading this name. Kind of just settling out up here, which I think is great for the stock. You know, the more this thing settles down, the better it's going to be in the long term here. So let it settle down a little bit, and then if the buyers want to come back in and hit this thing through 30, I mean, my whole, I mean, I'm going to average into this as well, 29.50. I'm waiting for some bids here to come through down near 29.50. So I believe in it enough that I'm going to average into this trade. However, you can see right now, and I don't think AMC is going to follow the NASDAQ, but it doesn't hurt, you know, when you get the NASDAQ to go to the downside here. We'd much rather it be turning the other way to support some of our longs, but I know AMC didn't really care too much about the NASDAQ when this was happening, so hopefully it can catch a bid somewhere here and we don't get ticked out. That's 29. See, this is the thing. This is 29.30 right there. I'm going to wait for 29 to break,
there we go,
which is actually down here. So we'll see. Here goes Rivian right now. Like I said, big position for me. I'm bidding 10s, so we'll see. Literally, I've been bidding 10 this whole time. It comes down to 13. If you stop, okay, this better print 10s, honestly, because like it just stopped at what?
I'm not going to hit a key.
13. It stopped at 13. So I'm bidding 10s. It's fine. It's fine. Calm that down. It's going to come down to 99.10 here, and it's going to fill me. I'm just trying to stop.
Some guy just re-upped at 15, by the way. I'm just saying.
Be quiet.
There's someone
I'm trying
on
to.
No, but there's a guy in ARCA, and he keeps coming back up at 99.15. I just saw him come up there again. Like he covered and 15. Now he got, now he just got taken out. There it is.
No, but I didn't. I actually bid 16s there.
Oh yeah, you got to. I almost said. You know what I almost said, right?
Shave it.
You just shave.
Exactly.
No, but there's the other kind.
Manscape it.
Yeah, they manscape the order.
You manscape the bid there. Like you get in front of the bid because you're shaving it. You see what I'm saying?
You remember that from back in the day, Randy?
Ooh, man, no, he doesn't.
That was never mind.
Okay, so, and you know what? And I'm glad I manscaped that one because, like, honestly, I don't even think it printed 10s there. Like, we got out at 16. Like, how upset would I be? But it doesn't matter, man. I'm out of 20% of the trade. Like, that's nothing. But we did make everything back, believe it or not, because I put on the same amount of shares. So now we take 50 cents. It's actually fine, but I didn't take it all out. So hopefully this can come back to the downside and we don't have to worry about all this kind of stuff. So let's wait for that and let's just move on. Neo, nice move. I don't know what Tesla's doing.
Someone was asking about Uber.
Uber's at 40 flat.
Yeah, there was a question about Uber, and Uber's at 45. This just goes back to the same scenario. Like, you've got to, I get it, man. Like, a lot of names which have been in unbelievable downtrends, and not one I'm happy about. I'm a shareholder of Uber, and you know, it hasn't been a nice ride for this thing for the last few months, I want to say, obviously. But it's a good downward trend, but it's starting to break back out of this trend at 38. You got to pick and choose what you're going to try and attack here. Whether you want to buy longs through highs of day, try to buy dips at VWAP if anything even comes back into it that I'm watching. Nothing has so far, or try to short off these tops. And I know 40 stands out there, but you also have in the daily, you're breaking this range here, which was support at 38.75, 38.80 or so, and then you're starting to get and hold above that price, right? So I'm just kind of looking at this level. You're breaking this, and then now you're into this higher end of the range. It does allow you to fall from 40 and give you $1, but goodness, there's air up here on that 40 level. Like I said, I'd rather be trading something which, in this morning, what I talked about was I'd rather short something that had bad news. That's why Rivian was my best short today, because they didn't have a good earnings report. So if it popped, I felt like it would be profit takers on every single bounce. Whereas for something like an Uber, there's people that are like long the bottom. Like I don't think people that are buying Uber down at 35 and at 36 in the last couple of days, I don't think they got the paper hands to be dumping it here at 40. For that quick gain in the year. Now they're probably thinking they can hold on to that and they got themselves a good deal. So I think you run into that kind of a problem a little bit more with Uber. So the setup's pretty solid. It's a great level at 40, but you have to pick and choose which ones you're in. And my battle's in Draftkings, and you saw me already lose it in GameStop, and then now we're looking at Rivian. So like I said, pick your battles. I also didn't like Zoom for some similar reasons there as well. And there's a heck of a lot running. Like, there's so much that's going to be strong when you get a day like today. And I get it, the NASDAQ's not really up that much. Goodness, that Tesla 3000 wick is kind of a pain in the butt. So I can't really show my daily, but Tesla, I was just saying there's nothing that's pulling back into VWAP, and as usual, every time I think there isn't one of these names that's bouncing, that's a little bit relatively weak, I flip to Tesla, and it's relatively weak compared to these. That should mean that Rivian can take out this 99. If Tesla goes through here, through VWAP and this 938 level.
There it
Rivian's,
is.
yeah, we're going to get
Yes.
these fills from Rivian, no problem. So Tesla's probably helping us with this move.
Finally, oh my God. Okay, so it just comes right back, like, come on. As if you have to test 100, like, life of a day trader, man. We're gonna write some books. Like, this is just absolutely crazy. Like, how many times that happens? Like, at least, honestly, if anything that I've learned in 2020 to be, what year is it? 2021, is that, you know, and I think that happens to a lot of us. You can even ask Pratt how old he is. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. It's
right.
that's,
Like that's
that's
the thing, like,
different, man.
nobody even knows what year it is. And I even asked my wife, like, if I was born in this year, like how, like, and I think I'm pretty good at math, but I don't know. It feels like this last 2 years has just been flying by. But anyways, what I've learned is what I was getting at here. Is that sometimes you do get taken out at levels, and you experience some of these wicks, and a lot of the time they are at key levels. So when that does happen, and then you don't get an extension of the move, then that is really, you know, what we like to see here. So whenever that kind of stuff happens, you know, we're like, yes. And at least I like to punch back in there. And we did our favorite chart patterns, and we did talk about these blowout wicks there. This one is a little bit different. I mean, we sat there and watched it. I think it was just a market thing, because there was sellers at 100. If they ever pulled, it like goes up and then they smashed it back down. So always different stories. But there it is right there. And like, look at that. We sat there and got that bottom there. Not the bottom, but we got a nice bid at 98.80. So again, $1 win on that one. Now we'll see if we can retest somewhere down here. I think we'll put a bid around 98 flat in case we do get that move. And then if we're lucky enough to get all the way back down here, then we'll do that. But as you can see, we've definitely favored the short. We only have one long here on Rivian. It's stuck in here somewhere where it was all messed up. But since then, short. So I'm going to put another bid around 98, even dollar, and see if it goes to the downside. We are now into the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube, because, hey, it's 3 o'clock.
Even faster.
It's witching. It's going to be, I hope it's going to go fast. AMC just battled all the way back. Unfortunately, we were bidding 28.55. It only goes down to 29.55. It only goes down as far as 29.60. So we did miss the reload, but we still have it on, and all is well. And Rivian, get down.
Yeah, so look, Trader Pratt up in here in the chat saying age is just a number. You're absolutely right. You're as old as you feel. I truly believe that. I also do just know how old I am, right? Like it's a simple thing. Like I know what year I'm born. I can do the math.
Yeah.
We love the kid Pratt. Like Pratt is fam. You guys saw him in the back, sort of walking back behind us. That's right. He's still here. He's going to be trading the close. We can find out what he's up to in his horrible James Harden jersey, but that's absolutely fine. Like I totally agree with that sentiment. I've moved my first target on DraftKings because it's getting boring, this stock. And I'm going to double check, because double check some of the bigger names on the reweighting and start checking out some of those. I know we want to look at Lucid and we want to look at Airbnb, but I'm sure there's a couple of other ones that we should be keeping tabs on. I'm now bidding in front of 28.30 on DraftKings. If you are watching Lucid, this is supposed to be, and when we say this, that there's an index upweight or an index addition, that just means that there's an expected net order imbalance to buy. It does not mean that the imbalance must come out to buy in that stock. It does not mean that the stock has to go up. It's just that there's an anticipation that there is going to be a large amount of shares that will be bought, and that will happen at the close, and therefore there'll be a large buy imbalance. For now, Lucid, like everything else, is sort of lingering at this high of day. And look, you won't see, like, I get Lucid and Rivian are probably going to follow each other, and Tesla just came down. But you wouldn't see me short Lucid knowing it's going to be an index upweight today. You might as well just try Rivian. It's like they're at the same type of level, one of which is a huge upweight, or index addition, the other of which had bad earnings. I think it's an easy choice which one you would want to short in that situation. But I am going to be watching Lucid like a hawk in the next 30 or 40 minutes or so when we get closer to the close.
Yeah, the only temporary problem, Neil, the futures. So right now the market is starting to go upside right now, which is hurting that Rivian short, I think, anyways, and it's going to be helping the AMC long, as that's right back into the money now. So we're trying to, like we said, we're going to try to do this. We did hold this against ourselves about not that much, about 50 cents. So obviously, I don't even have any offers out right now. So hopefully, hopefully we can go all the way to the upside there. I was just double checking we don't have any offers. We did have an offer up here at 30.60 at the high of the day, so we're going to cancel that. Although we would love to take an high of the day print, but at the same time, let's see if the momentum can keep going. I'd love to make a decision up here because that means we're in the money. So hopefully we can make a decision when it gets up there. But for now, no offers in case it blasts straight up and continues to march through. I know Proud was talking about some levels like $32, things like that on the daily chart, I guess.
30.
Maybe on the 20-minute chart up here. We've come from 32. I guess 32 is kind of right in here where we had some dip spots. I think that's probably where Pratt got it from, but maybe 33, 34, another level there. So let's see. Let's just wait to see where this one goes. We are bidding $29.55. I'm going to move that now to $29.60. That's where we dip down to there. So that's going to be a level, maybe a little bit higher than that. I mean, the penny doesn't matter, but I just want to make sure we get the fill. So that's what we're looking at right now with AMC. Let's just hope it can retest and make new highs.
Exactly. I mean, you want to see those things run if they can for you there. Remember, AMC, I don't think there wouldn't be any action on AMC at the close. This NVAX up 12.
There might be.
AMC? You know what? I can double check. I can actually check them. So if you are curious.
It's probably not on any of the research.
Yeah, it wouldn't be on any of the research, but any of the bigger names, you can ask in the chat. Like someone said, Oracle's making a bit of a move, and that's an expected, was bouncing off the lows, and that's an expected 380 million notional sell imbalance. It's a decrease on the index. An easy way to sort of figure that one out is, well, if it's a somewhat major name in the index, and come on, and I pull up the daily chart if it wants to live here, and I pull up the daily chart, and it's done this in the last quarter, which is essentially find its low at the beginning of the last quarter and then be just a screamer to the upside and up pretty much the entire year, started the year right here on support and has gone from $60 to, it was over 100, it's now at 96, and then timed it perfectly right at the beginning of the quarter to find its low at 84. So a lot of those types of names might have significant down weights in the indexes, and that's why you would see it come out as a sell. It's not always it's not counterintuitive, but I guess for a lot of people it might seem like it's counterintuitive, but that's why Apple, Oracle, those would be sells today. I'm not saying, again, that it has to come out as a sell imbalance, but we can always find out those, for you.
Let's jump up and down a little bit here as Roblox today. Hello. Thank you. And I do, guys, read the chat a little bit here, but as we go, it's very, very hard to sort of keep our mind on. I mean, I have two positions right now, Rivian and AMC, like the two probably most, I don't want to say volatile stocks, but stocks that will dance around a little bit today. So I haven't had a chance to look at Roblox, but a nice move back up. You know, I'm still long that 77 or whatever, 75, something like that, pre-earnings there. And it's a nice move back on Roblox. So you're starting to see here 110 area possibly coming through right now. Another name for us there, Brendo?
AUID, which is Ipcity Incorporated. I know everyone's heard of that. Up here yesterday, down huge on a $1.50 price target from an analyst. Today, back up slightly, anyways, 33%. Volume coming in right now through 17 for Ipcity, guys.
All hail Queen Kathy Wood today as well. Up again. Let's go. We had Michael Noss on from Trade Ideas. What's up, Michael Noss? Thank you for the nice tweets as well today. And good job. And he had a nice little, I don't know if you still, did you download that graphic there, Brendan? Okay, so maybe Brendan has it on his screen. We can show it at some point. No rush, just put up whenever you want. But it was comparing Berk B, which is Berkshire, obviously, to ARK there. There it is right there. And you see a little bit of an opposite move in the last little while with those arrows. And again, thank you to Trade Ideas for that one. And of course, one is going to be Warren Buffett's ETF. I guess they're kind of both ETFs. Let's just call them that for now. And then ARK, of course, both. You know, ARK a little more actively managed, I believe, than Berkshire. But again, you could see what the difference is right there. Those of us that know about ARK, you know, we know that that's exactly what it is. It's the innovation. So it's not holding things like Coca-Cola, like IBM, like actually I think Berkshire sold his IBM, but anyways, holding, you know, core banks, things like that, that continue to work almost no matter what the environment. Obviously, you're not going to get the same pull in those when the market's ripping like crazy, like we had in 2020 and 2021. But right now, that little graphic, I think it was like the last 3 months, there's like a little bit of a divergence there. But today looks like ARK with 5.56%, and then hold on a second, BRK.B. I don't know if it's on, it must be on New York, I believe, because I've seen it on some imbalances before as well. So that was 5% and a bit right there for ARC today because you see what names are moving, Teladoc, Roku, things like that. And then here it is for Berkshire today, down 1.81%. So it's not, I mean, look, you could buy both and probably do fine. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Actually, not a horrible way to be diversified.
That's actually, now that I think about that,
no, that is
why am I even picking stocks?
That is very reasonable. That's actually very
Send your Bitcoin to me, and then I will. Oh yeah, no, this is just a joke. I shouldn't say. I said that because of everything that's happening, but it's actually very, very true.
He wants Ethereum. That's why
I keep getting or Ethereum. Send me Ethereum as well. And especially if one of us messages you, definitely do that. But no, just all joking aside, there are some like fraudsters. I'll call them fraudsters because they are. They're fraudulent. They're creating accounts for myself, Brad, Neil, Valeria, Brendan. Probably not at Trader TV Randy, but maybe eventually they will do that. And, well, if Randy asks you for Bitcoin, you may want to step aside from that one. But anyways, just a public service announcement, and maybe I'll have to tweet something out. And I think Natalie's been doing it from our main account as well. But please don't send anything to anybody. We're not asking for training fees or like any kind of strategy or anything like that. We keep getting messaged all the time, all of us, asking us, is this you? Well, it's not. So if you're asking the right account, then you know where it is. So thank you. All I can say is report. Instagram is really, I mean, I'm a holder of Facebook, right? And I mean, I'm really disappointed at how long it takes Instagram to get rid of some of these accounts. But here's mine anyways.
It's a rampant problem, that's the thing.
It's a pretty big problem. But here we are right here. It doesn't matter. 4,000 followers, so you got to watch out for that. And that's my real account. So it's at Trader TV Sean. Just make sure all the spelling is right and things like that. But PSA.
There you go. And it's always worthwhile doing that. I think the other thing that's pretty cool too when Michael Noss came on is he gave us some symbols to look at that I wouldn't have even thought of. And one of them was I've added to my board. It hasn't moved today. That Portland General Electric, and you start thinking about some other names cyclically that can start to be working here. And that one in the midst of a breakout. And it's when you think about energy, when you think about utilities, and if you believe that there's still going to be the room for them to work. As a matter of fact, the only thing I did today in the long term was, like I said in the morning show, I like if Morgan Stanley was going to be the slow to pick some up. It's just I still believe that's a good idea to stay pretty diversified in the space. Even though we've had a bit of a rally today, I still like that notion. But I'm going to keep this one on my radar. So I'm going to shout out to Michael Noss. I'll keep it up here. I don't think it's a day trading stock, but sometimes you have something you've never seen before, and then the chart looks pretty strong and pretty gorgeous, and you want to make sure that you have an idea of how it's going to track in the future, and then you might learn something, which we try to do here every single day, Brendan.
Hey, Neil, following up with Sean's speech about fake accounts and advising you guys don't send anyone who pretending us anything. Alex Anzo sent us a super chat saying, I'll send you a super chat. How about that? Thank you very much, Alex. That we always super glad to receive from you. And you know what else, guys, we would love to receive from you? More likes. It's already 3:11, and we are just at how many? 400 likes, guys. Let's push to at least 420, and 1,000 likes would be so pleasant to us. Back to you, Neil.
Sorry, I shouldn't even care, but it was. Valeria said the words, let's push it to at least 420, and it went to 419. I clapped because I hadn't liked it yet, and I was 420. So what's up now? Like, I know a lot of you probably thought you're like, I'm going to be 420. You weren't. It was me. I was the 420th like today. Maybe that's a new thing. I'm going to try and be like the 69th or the 420th or 1,000 when we get to it. You can't do it twice, so I guess I can't be 1,000 today. That's the wrong one, man. See, Lucas knows which one to hit, guys. We don't have that one? Okay, let's go to Brendan. Why don't we have that one?
Another, guys, kind of all-day mover here that I just noticed, Asana, ASAN, having quite the day. Almost 11%, just made a day high there for Asana.
Yeah, look, those growth, if you like the growth thing, you have to know what you wanted to add. Like ASAN it's been a bit of pressure, obviously, for still on the New York last time I checked. It's been a little bit of pressure for them. And like I did promise, like any name that is of any decent size, I do want to be looking them up here. And it's, wow, 11%, you've got to be kidding me. And the level that it's breaking, and we talked about this before about you don't always have to try to catch a bottom. Sometimes it's about allowing something to break back out. So it's back above the 200 period, but it hasn't exactly closed above this price. It hasn't consolidated above this price. If it can consolidate here, hold a bid at 72.50 or so. I know it's above that right now. Hold a bid a couple of sessions, maybe even if you're really patient, allow it to break back out at 80, 81. Then you know you kind of have some momentum coming back in. You got room to 100 in that 50 period moving average. That's the kind of thing I think you can be patient with, because anything that falls this quickly to the downside, like 140 to 65 that fast, you want to be pretty sure, because if it's a false break, and I'm going to pull up a name that I'm holding a bag on half of. Where is it? Come on. The daily chart's really slow today. I don't know why. Like, it's just.
I think it's right now, like everything we're loading. I couldn't load Berkshire. I couldn't load ARK.
Yeah, but so here's an example. Like, here's Fubo. Like, look at how quickly it came back down. Okay, so it consolidated lower, fine. But when it broke out 25, it gives you a $10 winner. Then look how quickly that's reversed on you. And now you're almost $10 out of the money. So a lot of times you want to catch it on a breakout, and it never broke. It never broke that resistance level. If it had broken this 35 and closed above, you'd be a little bit more certain that it was on that high. Obviously, it's not exactly the same chart, but just understand how quickly these things can fall back on you. Still, I mean, 99 is holding pretty well on Rivian. I'm just in that in Draftkings, and I am like pennies away from getting the first bid on Draftkings. I think it's Rivian I'm a little bit more concerned about here, because I would tend to think it's going to be the more violent of the two going into the close. And I would think when it makes a wick off top at 100 like that, a lot of times you just straight drop after a move like this. It's actually consolidating 99s here, so maybe it has to fake a breakout again, 99 and a quarter or so. Maybe trap some more longs because the upward trend is still unbroken, and then it'll flush down. I'm still sitting in front of 98, and we'll see what happens. DraftKings, give me a break. I'm now like 2 cents away. What was happening to you before is now happening to me on DraftKings.
I love this here. Yeah, what's up, Nick? Nick Clemenzi here. I know you are paper hand, which will be shown very soon. Dun dun dun. So yeah, we're right now you guys are gonna expose the shit out of me very, very soon, guys. Very much paper-handed for sure, and that will be exposed, and it was gonna be exposed very, very soon, guys. So thank you for that, Nick. Yeah, for sure. There he is. There's an LOL. Yeah, he's short though. Okay. Yeah. So no. I don't know. We talk about this all the time. I mean, Prad gives, okay, here comes Rivian right now. Like, maybe I should have paper-handed Rivian, that's for sure, because it was down at 99 a couple seconds ago, and this short was good. So now here we go. The diamond-handed Sean held that now, and now we'll see what happens here. But again, I just trade based on levels and based on stock movements and things like that. And right now we are going to get clocked out if this does break above 100 again. We talked about that over and over again. There's another push to 100. I don't know, these it's funny, like I'm not going to short this again, because the thing is that over and over again, I'm not really seeing, besides the morning when we were short here, taking like 97s, getting some out 93s down here, you could see the candle, these red movements. They're not here anymore. All of the movements here are strong. Like this drop out of nowhere happened, right? But boom, they've just elevated off of 99 now twice. So they stand down here, barcoded around 99, and all the way to the downside there. So I am trying to diamond hand this, but we'll see. I do have some bids down here, so to get out. So hey, diamond hands. I'm just trying to turn whatever my hands are into this. So hopefully, whatever my hands are will do this. Maybe they need to be insured. Okay, what about AMC? Again, another trade here that I'm trying to go here. This is going to look paper-handed, but this is the strategy that I had. Break it, scalp it, get out if it broke lower. Break it, scalp it, get out. Like here's break, didn't work, out. Here's a break again, out, some scalps and some outs. And then right now we're just trying to hold this last one. So it didn't work great. It worked great here. It hasn't worked these last two. So big wins here, and then it sort of stopped again. And then right now we lowered our shares on this trade because of that reason. We did have a different strategy this time around. So let's wait to see if it goes to the upside here. AMC, I still think we take out day's high. So let's go. I wish I had a diamond the size of my head. I mean, that would be nice. I got the wife like a 1.2 carat diamond, and then okay. So right now the NASDAQ is cracking here, so I'm just gonna leave this one to go here. I should have got my wife a fake diamond. I actually thought about that afterwards. That would have been way better, because then I could have got like a 3-carat one, and then I'd be like, booyah, and then she would never ever get it appraised.
I tried that conversation with my wife to like sort of talking about how it's a waste and you shouldn't do it and the whole conflict thing, and it's like, let's just say I didn't win the argument. So but I think it's fine. It actually went better than I anticipated that it would go.
I wouldn't have told her.
I tell young people this all the time, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I think when Rob got married, I told Prad this. It's like, whatever money you plan on putting into, and then usually when you're at that point in your life, into paying for a wedding, if your parents aren't doing it, or in-laws, or buying a ring, like take that money, put it in the market or a down payment. Or just
put it in the market.
Or a little bit of both. Like it's just, all I'm simply saying is the difference when you're in your early 20s, let's just say, the difference in where you would be in your life if you make that choice, and then when you're my age, then throw a gigantic party for your like a big anniversary or something like that. It makes a heck of a lot more sense. Now some people, look, I get it. Some people might break even.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say the opposite. I would say spend all the money you possibly can on the best day of your life. But that's just coming from me, and I believe Brendan agrees with that statement as well. So
because it comes and goes pretty quickly, and it's a party.
It does.
You can do a party anytime you want. That's the way I look at it, and it'll be just as good any other time. But everyone, you do your own thing. You have to have a partner that agrees with it. I did what you did in Rivian on Draftkings, where there was just, it wouldn't get to that 30 level. So I just moved it up to 35, and the second I got filled, it went down to 30. So I finally got that first out. That's why I hit the easy peasy lemon squeezy, because it wasn't that. We have some weird ones that are on here. Like we've got this new mac and cheese thing, or the old mac and cheese one, like that one that's been around for a while. I don't know what's up with that, but Rivian is right back down towards that 98. But I want to point out here, that Rivian is being, and thank you, Prad, because I was working off a sheet that didn't include the Russell, but Rivian is being added to the Russell. So you can expect that it might be a buy imbalance there. So good look there, Prad. It is, the notional was 34 million, so 1.7 million shares, something like that. No. That's 1.7 million shares. It looks like for Rivian. Is that right?
So what we're trying to talk about here is just like, you know what, it's all going to matter. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. And I hope you have enjoyed the show so far. Hopefully it's going to get, let's go Rivian. Like, let's just get down, man. We are now $1.20 in the money on this, and we still have the majority of our shares. My earpiece just went off, so I do not have an earpiece anymore. So I will try to charge that. And oh man, now when you talk, you can hear your own echo. That's bad. Okay, so 30, 20, 98, 37 is that recent low. I am bidding 98 dimes, so well, hopefully we can come back down again and hit that one more time. But as you can see, it's to the downside. So what I wanted to say there before I got distracted is these are the names on this side, symbol, and then the side will come out, buy or sell, and then this side. Please ignore this all right now. Notice the time on here. None of these are updated, so these are all old, just explaining it to you. The size will come on here. We're expecting multiple millions to show 15 or whatever I have here, irrelevant. There's going to be 100 names that are going to be going crazy, but we'll sort. I mean, Neil will have the same thing. We'll also show you some TSX ones. But this one right here, the New York and the NASDAQ should be what's popping off. Right now, it's showing absolutely nothing. You can see the time here. And then once this updates at 350, so 350, we'll get new orders coming through here. And they're market on close orders. And they definitely will move said market. So let's wait to see what happens. Very, very risky to take positions on the Qs or on the ES or anything into this number, because like, if you're like, oh, I'm going to go short the NASDAQ here and get out if it breaks 15,920. Yeah, okay, so what you have to understand is there's something called slippage. If the number comes out like a huge buy, like Apple 5 million to buy, like Tesla could even be, I don't know, $1 million to buy, something like crazy like that. Well, it won't be that high, but you know, the notional of those, because of what Apple is, remember what I said? There's 7 names. There's 7 names that are 52% of the NASDAQ. So if any of those, like if 4 of those 7 come out buys, it's going to rocket the NASDAQ. And what you're going to wind up happening is this is not going to hold. It's just going to like shoot up. It's going to be one of those algo-driven trades that just gets shot right up, and so you have to add a little bit to your slippage there. So if you are trading the futures, good luck, and we'll hopefully be able to have those numbers for you so you can analyze which way you are on that. So there it is, guys. Let's just continue to go up. Yeah, I think if you're going to buy a ring, you should, instead of buying, like I said, a real ring, just buy like Shiba Inu or something like that, because then you could, in a week, you could buy 3 of those rings, right?
Buy a ring NFT.
Yeah, or take a picture of the ring and then sell it as an NFT. Yeah, greater fool theory.
There's lots of, and we had a discussion about the greater fool theory, which, if you don't know what that is, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's a whole notion that something is only worth what the next fool will buy. It's an old term, but the truth of the matter is people like to refer to it for NFTs and artwork and crypto, but it applies to just so many different things. It's across the board. Like, it's applied to fine art for years, and it's like, it's not just about crypto or NFTs. If you traded that Zoom trade, by the way, that 200, it's barcoding off the top. And so I think a lot of these names that feel like they're about to flush, whether it's Rivian, whether it's Draftkings, they're giving you a little taste of it. But it's all holding around the highs because the market's not going anywhere. And we might not get a move till closer to the imbalances come out. So I would just be alert to that. When Sean said slippage, like if I was short on Zoom with in front of 200, let's just say if 200 broke, my stop order, I wouldn't be crossing up to 221 cents. You might just have to be a little bit more aggressive with your stops to make sure that you actually get the fill if you are making that kind of a trade. So you just sort of be careful. Like, you're going to possibly have some bigger breakouts if there are moves there. So it's just one of those things to watch out for in the last 35 minutes or so. Asana's still moving. Apparently, according to Brennan, that name has been churning to the upside. It's actually getting very close to that 75 mark. I mean, what isn't at this point? ADGI isn't. Someone asked about this one earlier. ADGI, once it broke the high at the end of once it took out this high, I had the original long that was at 16. Look how quick this happened. Our charts are almost the exact same. I stopped out of my 16 long, the last third, right here, within 1 minute. Less than 1 minute later.
Yep.
I was long through the top at 17. Yeah. And less than 5 seconds later, long? Less than 5 seconds. No, a tight stop. Like, my stop was right out. Like, I stopped.
Oh, that's not a long. That's an out.
No. This is long.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
The last of this long is out here, stopped out.
And then
this is the bottom wick. I made bottom wick on the last third.
I got it. Yeah.
Then I made top wick taking a 17 break, and then I was out. And that happened. Like, my 17 long was in and out in 2 seconds. It was like in. Oh, didn't break, out, and then it flushed for the rest of the day. And what happens when this happens, I just never got into the short. I wasn't even fast enough. You almost couldn't have been, and it's just flushed the rest of the session. Should have had this one when it broke 13, though. That was that level that we liked from yesterday.
You said in and out in 2 seconds?
Oh, it might have been less than that.
That's what she said. Okay, so right here, I didn't know if South Park, shout out to Dunder Mifflin fans.
That's my new workout show, by the way.
Is it?
My workout show is only something I've seen before, so it doesn't kind of like distract.
I didn't know. I said at Ryan. Where's Ryan here? Ryan, the man with one name. South Park just came out with a great NFT episode. I didn't realize, guys, that South Park was even back. I mean, I'm trying to look for some South Park episodes.
Great show.
We love it. We love it. So there it is. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the love on the chat for that last inappropriate comment. So, all right. Peloton still $42.
Oh, Peloton.
Oh, that's right. I can't hear anything. Brendan, what's up?
Just reading on Boeing, guys. Boeing suspending vaccination requirements for U.S.-based employees. Interesting. Heads up on Boeing. Also just saw this. It was about this time yesterday, I think, we brought up Altria, 3% on the day. Day highs on volume here for Mo.
Yeah, and the Altria, I don't know. It's a name I can't buy. I don't know. Everyone has their own, whether it's ESG or your own personal preferences. It's just there's certain things that maybe you just don't feel too strongly about. Whoa, that's so weird.
So
ADGI, I hadn't even looked at this stock since the morning, and we just talked about it, and then it flushed like 70 cents through the low of the day. So finally getting a bit of a turnaround. Also, AMC starting to, I don't know, maybe there's a bit of a drop happening in the futures. Maybe not too much of one, but it just rolled over a couple of points. Maybe that'll help that Rivian trade or Donkey Kong to get down to VWAP here. But weird. We just talked about ADGI, and it just flushed another buck.
All right, yeah, I'm really excited about South Park now that I'm reading some of these guys. That is for sure. Okay, so keep it coming. Yeah, people like that. For all the 50-year-olds in the chat, yeah, that was the highlight. Okay. Brennan again? Oh, Ren and Stimpy. I don't know if our crowd knows that. That's a little
They
old
might
stuff.
know Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, MTV. Ren and Stimpy was good. I liked Beavis and Butthead as well, but there are obviously some classics there. But South Park has to be up there. I mean, I think South Park for me is better than Family Guy, but The Simpsons really.
I love the Boondocks.
It's hard to hold a candle to The Simpsons, to be honest with you. But
the Boondocks is the greatest. They did the most gangster thing that you've ever seen. If you ever heard of, if you know what BET is. So like BET was one of the only networks carrying the Boondocks cartoon, and then they did an episode mocking BET. It's like, yeah, okay, you guys are the only one going to air us. Now we're going to just take shots at you anyways. And they're not like The Simpsons. Like it's not like they can take shots at Fox. They were off BET after it happened.
Yeah. Well,
and that's because like
there is politics.
Aaron McGruder doesn't care. That's why I love the dude. He just like, this is my episode, and it's hilarious if you've seen it, and you didn't give a damn if he got canceled and pushed out. You just, I'm going to do my thing. But if you have never seen that show, I know it's a little bit inappropriate, but I love the Boondocks.
Shout out. I don't know why Super Chats aren't showing. Maybe it's $2. But yeah, Pinky in the Brain. Shout out to Mike as well. Yeah, I mean, there's so many of them. But Pinky in the Brain for me wasn't as big. But Beavis and Butthead, whatever. The Beavis and Butthead movie is pretty funny too. But they're also stupid. AMC, there it is, man. So we get our final fill. It's the final countdown right now. We'll see if it can go up here with
I'm covering more Rivian, eh?
Yeah, I know.
Because remember, it's the edition. That's the only thing.
I mean, the thing is the market's tanking here, and Rivian's right at this level again. Probably not a horrible call here to cover one more piece of that and then cancel my 98.10 bid here. So there it is. Where am I even bidding? Oh, I'm not even bidding here, so I got to bid a little bit higher than this. You know what? I'll just take it out right there and get out of this a little bit. Oh, I didn't get filled there? Oh my God. So right now, some of these trades, just there's not too much volume. Let's take out that 65 temporarily. Oh, we just got in there. You can see. I was going to show you the fill there. It looks like we got a dark pool fill on that one. So we actually get a 64 or a 63 something there average price. So there it is. We'll just take out one more piece. And again, Rivian just bouncing around here a couple of times. I was watching it. That was probably a good point by Neil there. All the way back down into here. We know Rivian's going to have some additions today. So that's fine. We'll do that. And then here it comes right back upside. Let's see what AMC can do right now. This is what I was talking about before. You know, ins and some outs, some good trades. In again, and then look at these. When we're wrong here, look at the paper hands here. We're wrong and we get out, right? And then when we're right, we're trying to hold this for more. So as you can see here, the win and the loss on that one is that. Did you just ask for a coffee?
He asked, yes.
No. Too late in the day here for that one. As I'm already seem to be pretty jacked up right now. Okay, so let's get ready to rock and roll. 29.60 here on the bottom for AMC. So that's where we just took our last bid. We're going to hold this to 29, guys. And again, part of this is just the way it's been trading. And another part is we are waiting again in 20 minutes. We'll see. If it comes out a buy, the thing could fly. And if it comes out a sell, then obviously we have our stop order to protect us. So let's see where it goes for now. But that is AMC and that is Rivian, the only two trades that I have on this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm in this Draftkings, and look, I might cover that one a little bit quicker than we would. Usually we'll give it to 345, 350 if you're in the money, but I don't think I want to do that this particular time. I'll check back in on GameStop. Yeah, there it is, high of the day. We were able to make it. Every now and then you're able to make the top wick, and it stays the top wick. So if you're ever wondering who made that high of the day, well, actually I'm off by like 2 cents here. So somebody else got me by 2 cents. But either way, that's me. That's me buying at the high of the day. We show the winners, we show the losers. GameStop does end up retracing. So I suppose if I had just let it break the high, kind of like we did with Rivian, give it a bit more room, it would have worked out just fine. But you got to stick to your own rules. And sometimes that means taking a hit that you don't want to take. One other name that we said we'd keep an eye on was going to be Lucid. It's still hanging around that high of the day. I think one of the things I'd be looking for on Lucid in particular is just imagine a scenario where we're expecting it's a big addition. Let's say you get a big flush. Like say it comes out a bit of a sell and then there's a gigantic flush, let's say in Lucid, and then maybe it comes down to like a 38 level, which was support, and then you try to buy it anticipating it's going to get paired off and volume would come into the buy side late in the session. Like that's right at the close. Like that'd be the kind of thing I'd be looking for in particular on Lucid. Like it wouldn't necessarily be, oh, I'm just going to buy it at 350 and at the close it's going to go way up. No, I'd be looking for a specific trade. Like I'd rather it fall catch a bit of a support area, and then look for that imbalance to possibly pair back off, either going to the buy side or just to sell pairing off in general. So that would be if it came out the wrong way. If it comes out a buy, it's very likely to just shoot through the high of the day. And truth of the matter is, the algos are going to get that trade so fast. It's not like you really can't make that trade. Like, you see us bring the imbalance locator up to you, like there's always going to be an algo which is piped in and is actually going to just take the feed directly and trade from it without even using an interface. It'll just have an API interface. So that kind of a trade, like seeing the imbalance and hitting it, you'll never get first move. It's completely impossible for a human being to do that.
Yeah, no. I mean, we're gonna have to try to play this by ear and just watch to see where the momentum goes. But I am noticing right now that the NASDAQ is, and I have the Qs up because it's the NASDAQ 100. The Qs right here trying to break this VWAP. So NASDAQ is trying to break it. So the Qs just did break it. So I think this is a situation where we could try to go short right now, the triple Qs. So let's do that and then see. It's not going to be super price specific here. So we'll just take there we go. We'll take some fills right now and get short on this. Let's just see. It looks like the market, again, who knows? Who knows where we're going to go? But 388 to the high side right there. Hopefully my earpiece is charged up because I do hear they're pointing to me. Let's go over to Brendan.
Interesting day to have news, guys, but this ARGX just halting. This is a $300 stock, but very, very thinly traded. Heads up, $310 stock just halted for news pending, guys. So ARGX.
Okay, so just an update there. I don't know if something. Yes, sir.
Rivian.
Yes, sir. Right now, cooking up the profits. Oh, so we got dumped out on AMC. That's what I was going to do, and then all of a sudden, things got elevated right now, real quick. So let's get out of some more of these Qs right now, if we can do that. But right now, a nice bid here on Rivian just got taken. So there it is. Diamond hands, paper hands, whatever you want to call it. That's a good trade for me on Rivian, taking $2 there on Rivian. So hey. How you like that one on Rivian? I like it. Hopefully you guys are short. If you're long, I do apologize. But look at this as well. Right now, we'll see where the futures want to go, but this cracking lower right now. We just took a nice bid there. I don't know how many pennies that was on that, but maybe 40 or 50 pennies on that trade. Now it's coming back to the upside. So we emptied out a little bit there. We were short at 19. We got out at 90. So 30 pennies on the first part of the Qs. And now we're out of the money 10. So that was fun. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, the market's going to whip like that, though.
It's going to whip like that, and that's exactly right. So we're going to take out some pieces, average in maybe until we get back to like 386.50, which is going to be a hard one. So the future's coming. This is an important day. It's the quad witching. It's the end of the year, not the end of the year day, but the last Friday, third Friday of the end of the year is always an important one. So let's just keep holding it short and see if we're right.
Yeah, I mean, you got S&P year-end rebalancing. You've got the Russell year-end rebalancing. I'm just looking to get out of these last two trades here. Draftkings, I'm sitting on VWAP, which I didn't have a bid out before, but I got a bid out now. I'm just going to cover it in front of 28. We'll go ahead and take about 70 pennies on that bad boy. And then Rivian's about 250 in the money. I'm sitting in front of 27. I would give this one a lot further, but I just took off the last of my Rivian, so I'll hit this one. There we go. Shows how old we are. I love Super Mario Brothers. That was an awesome game. But I just took out the last of my Rivian, and if it wasn't for the fact that it's being added to the Russell, I probably might hold on to this one a little bit longer. It's still about 10-15 minutes till the imbalances come out, but I do want to be overall flat and then sort of watch some of these going into the close and just be prepared to take, not take positions, but react to what we do see at 350 on the off chance that we get some big movement. Lucid was one of the big ones. Airbnb is the other big addition. It's flat on the day, but it's also holding up at the high. So while the market's rolling over, Airbnb is holding up at the top here. Oddly enough, exactly flat on the session, pretty much. That's another rather large imbalance. I'll double check the exact size.
Airbnb is an ad.
It's an ad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed, but I forget exactly how big it is.
Okay, yeah. So we'll double check all those notes. Maybe Brendan, you had that cool screen up before that had like all the ads and all the deletes. If that's possible. If not, that's fine. But it'll just help us sort of guide through this. All right. So again, averaging into this, we'll see what's going to happen now. It looks like the NASDAQ had a little bit of a threat there for a downward push. Looks like it's trying to bounce off VWAP. And then we've noticed also that, forget about the first couple minutes. In this afternoon, we do have a low down here of 15,747. So when we're trading the Qs, actually, I guess, why not just look at the Qs? Yeah, I guess this is fine. So it's the same chart. We do have this 384.12 that we're looking at. So more importantly, this level here, 384.55. So I do have a bid somewhere around here to get the next piece out, and then hopefully we can dip down and continue the move. We are looking to get some more short. 54 I was at, it went to 52. Like, what am I even doing today? And hopefully it comes up and fills me now. But Rivian, did we just get out again? Holy, yeah, 97. No, that was that fill. That's fine. So Rivian's fine. We were looking to get out. Oh, we missed it. We were lower. Sorry, my bad. We were lower than 97 there on that fill. So we were waiting for 96 down here. I thought I got it, but we didn't. We're waiting in this area. So I actually have a bid right now, 96.60 something in here to get filled on Rivian. And then I just don't know. If it cracks through VWAP and I'm still interested, we could take it. But that's some good outs right there. We only have one piece left. So Rivian, again, right back up to a nice positive stock.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's all about here. Just going to see if we can't get the window dressing on our day. One last fill for me. Airbnb was 4.6 million shares to buy is what's anticipated because it's that big addition. So that should be interesting. Look, we'll see if it comes out a bit. I have no idea which way these are going to come out. There's absolutely no guarantees. Although for now, the market is trying to sell off here. That's why it's like a hold on to the last of your short situation is the NASDAQ, which was, for some moments, the NASDAQ was up in the afternoon several times, trying to look like it was going to break out at 15.9. You're coming right back in about 0.5% to the downside, so it can't seem to do it. Shout out Damian Stevens there with the $100. So,
there we go. Yeah, what up, Damian? Thank you so much. We'll show it on the screen there. Thank you so much. Damian's been a big supporter of the show, so I'm going to give a big shout out to you, Damian. Thank you for that. What a great year. You're telling me, man. This has been a fantastic year for me. I didn't even have any red days in October, November. What a great Roblox. 94 to 103. You're out till January 3rd. Well, then, happy holidays, my friend. Have a fantastic new year. Much love to you as well, and thank you. We'll pass that along to everybody. Thank you, Damian. It's been a fantastic year, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys, or you, Damian, anyways, on Jan 3rd. What up, B?
All right, I can't seem to find that list I had, but here's from the NASDAQ itself, guys. So we'll go over the list here quickly. Coming out, so 6 companies will be removed. CDW Corporation, which is CDW. Fox, Arun mentioned that this morning. Fox A and Fox coming out. The CERN is up huge today and is also coming out on separate. Checkpoint also coming out. Trip.com in INCY also coming out. And then these are the additions down here. So Airbnb, Fortinet, FTNT, Palo Alto, Lucid, Zscaler, Datadog, all additions going into the NASDAQ 100.
It's not often that you see a $30 billion company that's being bought by someone or potentially being bought by someone like an Oracle that's coming out of an index. It's usually the deal gets done and then it comes out of the index when the shares get delisted. But that's a weird one. It's up 14%. It might be on the radar as well now if that's supposed to be a deletion from the index, and it's up so much and the deal isn't completed. So it's still just speculation at this point. As a matter of fact, I'm sort of sitting here saying to myself, if the deal was speculation and it was gapped up at over 92, and look at the short on this thing. If you just shorted this at the open when it tried to pop, noting the fact that there's going to be people won't want to take that profit and not hold through to whenever a deal would get announced or not get announced, that was a clean move to the downside at the open. So I'm not really sure why this wasn't on my radar more. Could have been a good one. Lucid starting to pop to the upside here. Draftkings might not get to VWAP. No matter what happens on this last position for myself, I'm getting out before 350, whether Draftkings doesn't have an imbalance. But I just want to be flat when the imbalances come out so that I can react to what's going on and then possibly see some opportunities rather than deal with a position that we still have here.
Yeah, no, I'm virtually the same thing. But just trying to figure it out. We do have a low piece on Rivian right now, which is why that was such a great fill for me. Very, very small piece on Rivian. Actually, that reminds me, let me change my stop order because now I don't want to get blasted to the high side on Rivian right now and take too many shares. So that's another thing. Like when I took this position, I put my stop order to break 100 again, well, a little bit higher than 100 this time, like 100 and quarters, something like that. We put it for our full shares, but then like I'm out 20, 40, 60, 80% of the trade. So now I need to fix that order, right, to be for only 20% left, because that's all I have left. And this has happened to Neil and I all the time, and we talk about like, oh, there's like a keystroke or we're overfilled, and that just means that we've left this order in, so that, for example, if it's 1,000 shares and I'm out 200, 400, 600, 800, that means I only have 200 left. So when it takes this out, it would then put me long 800. So we don't want that. I hope that math makes sense. So I'm going to adjust that order right now, and I'm just getting, I'm getting a little excited. The hand's getting clammy right now, and we'll wait to see what happens as the imbalances are going to come out, and we're just super excited for it.
I'm going to put a ticket in. We can put, so Day Trade the World, you can put in tickets for feature requests.
Yep.
Because I would love to have a feature request where when you have a stop order.
Yeah, good luck.
You basically check. I can check something on the box that says
I
want it to cancel and then replace.
That would be
to
amazing.
The size of my current position, right? Like that would
utterly be amazing if that was
help
the
us
case.
do the show. That's for sure. Anyways, I'm just thinking out loud. It's one of the cool things about Day Trade the World is you can put in a ticket for feature requests and then hope that other people are interested in that same thing, and they're constantly updating the platform so that it can be best for sort of active traders' executions.
Yeah, what we say is it's a platform built by traders for traders. And I know that other people use that, but that is really the truth. Like that is, even Neil, myself, that's a perfect example. We're traders and we're helping now with new feature requests, right? So you're going a little bit ham on the camera there, guy. Like you're giving like people like a nervous breakdown there, Rob. Slow down there,
Do
champ.
that cool pan shot that Lucas
Yeah, man, we got to do some more shots here, not just like we're doing like. Anyways, okay. Rob is the man, so I don't even know how to use that board. So let's just keep on going. One more short there into the Qs. It looks like we're going to be wrong. We thought it was going to be net sell imbalance. It looks like right now we don't. I mean, it's again nothing's updating, so we'll have to wait on that. I don't have any updates here. It's the same board as before. At 9:50, this thing's going to light up like a Christmas tree, and I'm just hoping that there's more S's here than B's, and then that means that we can take advantage of a downward market. We're only short at 385.70. You could see that. Like it's at 90 now. Like. It's not, it was just at 80, now it's at O's. So bouncing back and forth now, as you can see, a very volatile time in the market, as this is probably the biggest day of the year as far as, not probably, is the biggest day of the year as far as net imbalances go, reweighting, things like that. And not only that, the NASDAQ this year up slightly today. I guess today doesn't matter. So NASDAQ was up, I believe it's 24% on the year, and the S&P I think is 25. It's small differences there. So yeah, that's why I'm figuring the reweighting comes to the downside. The market's up so much this year, so I believe that net sells will come on big stocks that are at all-time highs, like Apple, things like that. That's my logic for going short. Could be wrong, but here we go as it gets closer and closer. I just have 5 minutes. Like, please don't punch me out before 5 minutes. I have some stops up here. Let's just hope that we can hold this out. I'm going to get punched out if it happens, and I'll give you the level right now where we're going to be out on, and that is 386.40. So it's right into here where we're going to get out. I just don't want to mess with this. I think if we can crack higher, we'll see what happens. But now it's coming back in. So here we go, man. Hopefully this can be a negative movement here for the market.
And a crazy move here in CALT. Just a volume spike on that stock, which I thought had been left for dead. Today. It was a big mover yesterday, I believe, but a big spike up to a couple of dollars here on CALT. I'm not going to trade this thing. It's under 1 million shares, but worth noting that it might still be in play next week after this move. Brendan?
I haven't validated this yet, guys, but somebody, or a lot of people, I should say, circulating an $84 price target on this stock. So somebody came out with an $84 price target for Cult, it would look like.
Somebody?
Who's?
I'm going to tweet something out and just put like $184.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, here we go. So right now, Gronk spike as we are starting to get some of these out. My average price was 70. That will now change because we go first in, first out on the position on the board. It's even how I'm seeing it right now. So my average price now shows 83, but you guys know all in we were 70. So it's just going to get higher and higher because as it goes, it's thinks I'm taking out this trade, right? So here it comes now into the money, a nice 50 cents. Let's see, man, we're making everything back. We're doing really well right now on our positions. Rivian, $3 in the money, and the triple Qs now 40 cents in the money, but very, very volatile and bouncing around. What is that, 385? We'll put another bid down the low side.
Yeah, and it's just that as quickly as it went up, Cal comes right back down, like $24. It pops to $25.50, just comes right back to 24. Lucid, which is one I want to watch here, not really doing much of anything. Airbnb, that's another one of the big additions, not really moving around. That's all going to likely change in about 3 minutes or just under 3 minutes when the balances come out. We'll get those to you live. There's nothing screams off of the page in terms of early looks, but it's just the overall market that does happen to be moving right now. And in context, it's not a gigantic reversal that we're having here. We have not really broken too far out of the range in the afternoon, as you can see here. Like you had a bit of a spike in the morning, and we haven't really broken too far out of this range.
Hold on
it's been about 100 points total.
I just want to ask this guy. How do you know DJ Valenoega here, Valonga, that the mock is 9.1 billion to sell? Please put the link or something in the chat if you have that. I have no idea where that number is coming from, but if you do know that, man,
9.1.
It's in our chat. He has mock 9.1 billion to sell. So I just don't know where. Yeah, I know, but where? What's the?
Oh, I know that.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so anyways, it's a little too late for that, but that's good. So we'll talk about that. Oh, sorry, there it is. 1.9 billion. Ooh,
that's a very large
yeah, that was, thank you, Ver, for DJ Valongo there, Valenlonga right there. Thank you so much. 1.9, yeah, so, 6 times or whatever the difference there. That was scary there for a minute, 5 times, sorry, the difference. 9 billion, Neil, on the market is a lot.
That would be, look, 9 billion would be a
2 billion still a lot. But
2 billion's a big number.
But we've seen that.
We've seen that before. 9 billion, that's why you get a bit of a pause.
I was like, I almost lost my, okay. Yeah, so we're getting ready to get clapped out here on Rivian. I'm canceling this bid on Rivian, actually. If Rivian comes out to sell, could you imagine how epically bad that will be, Neil? Because people are expecting the other way. So, yeah, makes sense there. If it comes out as a sell, this thing could clap itself all the way to the downside. But we are just taking profit, man. We're near the highest spot we've been at all day long, so we'll throw down some money. With only a minute left to go here, we are excited for what's to come on these imbalances. I do have another bid here in the 70s, and we'll see if it does come a sell. We'll see where we go from here.
Yeah, exactly. 50 seconds to go. We're going to get them. I think we'll both likely have imbalances sort of ready on the go for you guys to be able to see. And you can tell, the early look is just going to have, right now it's showing you the morning.
I'm thinking on another
at 3:50, everything is going to update, obviously, and then we'll get that in about 30 seconds. I'm not doing anything until that particular time. And I got Airbnb up here. That and Lucid are worth the watch. And you can't make any predictions. Like I said, just because something is anticipated it's going to come out of a buy or sell does not mean that's what it has to do.
No, it actually doesn't have to do anything. So we'll wait to see here. There it goes, triple Qs. There we go. We just got a 78. The orders are starting to flow through here. We'll see where these imbalances come out and what happens to the market. But this is a nice trade for me, man. Yeah, so we're happy with it right now. And we'll see, where's my imbalance locator? Here it is. With only a few seconds left, let's see how this comes out. Watch out for the triple Qs making bottoms now. Starting to tank. Wow. I don't even know where the quotes are. Looks like we're frozen up right there. SWN. 12 million. Oh, that's a low stock. 8.5, sell Pfizer. Watch Pfizer. See ya. Bank of America, Cisco, Twitter. See ya for sure on Twitter, I would say. There, if my chart ever loads here, I could show you. Twitter to the downside just ticks lower right there. What else do we have? That's about it for me on
Lucid
New York.
Tanked
right
about almost $1, but I'm trying to find it here. I don't even see. Yeah, where is it? I just saw it. Lucid came. So Lucid came out the wrong way. Remember I mentioned that could come out the wrong direction, and then you see it flush. I mean, that was it. You had to be really, really quick, flushed into support. Obviously, it has some time that it could potentially pair off, but a big, big flush there in Lucid as that came at a 2.6 million imbalance to the buy, to the sell side. And remember, we said it could be anticipated that it's supposed to be a buy. That does not mean that it has to come out that direction. You see what happens when it comes out the wrong way, and a lot of people would have been long near that high of the day. If I looked at Airbnb here, that also flushed. I'm going to assume I didn't see Airbnb, but that must have also come out in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's probably, and let's go Rivian all the way to the downside right now. As you can see, this thing getting cracked, and we are short this name. So let's go Rivian. Going to the downside right now is Rivian. We are at close to the highest spot of the day for me right now as we continue to hold this one, and it is starting to get cracked lower, lower, lower. I can show, let's just show the Toronto one. I know there's not too much interest, but some people are asking. So I don't really see that much. There's BTE on here as well, 3 million shares. That's a good one. Other than that, I'm not going to take too much time here. To me, there's nothing on here. So that's just Toronto. I did want to show it because there are people asking, and I said that we would talk a little bit about it. But for me right now on BTE, a little bit of a buy, so it bumps up here. But that's not something that I'm interested in. And to be quite honest with you, I'm going to be a hard pass on those ones. And then right here, just because Rivian came out, let's get out if this goes back above. We got to stay somewhat disciplined. So I'm going to put the stop order in right now. We break above like this 97 area, we will get out. So I just put the order in. That's why I said 25. 97.25 we'll get out. And just a random number because I want to get out if we break above 97, and then we'll give it a little bit of slippage, and then we'll punch out. So hopefully that can come through. But as of right now, man, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really see anything that's super attractive. Let's call this up one more time. SWN, Pfizer, look at Pfizer, guys, on that move. Like Pfizer, 50 cents to the downside there. Ooh, Ford, what's up? I was going to say, Randy, you're a little slow there, but he got it. He
always gets
He's
it.
there. Oh, you mentioned Lucid. Sorry, man. I forgot about Lucid. Lucid right there has a sell as well. This name probably, it got hit real early and then battled back there. So as you can see, the paired value here, guys, so there's already paired off. So SWN was 72 million shares to sell, but someone came in and bought 60 million already, right? So there's Apple already paired off as well, but that's a bid. So that's helping Apple start to go back up here a little bit. But it looks like right now the market's kind of just chilled out. So good trade on that one so far. And there is Rivian. So our plan kind of worked out pretty good there. We were hoping that it would drop even further. We did have a bid there. We could have got out, but there's the plan, 97.25. No slippage, really. We got 28, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, just seeing, I know you guys are talking NVIDIA flushing. Look, the market, the NASDAQ is flushing. NVIDIA just spiked down to a couple of bucks there. That was supposed to be a down weight. I didn't see NVIDIA on my board anywhere. It didn't stand out, so it definitely wasn't one of the biggest imbalances. I'll see if I can find, I'm scrolling and trying to find it on my imbalance locator. I'm going to assume it did come out of sell, but it was anticipated that it would. And look at the crazy spike you're going to see here. But I think it's overall more the market cracking to that downside. And I'm kicking myself because Lucid didn't quite come to that support level, but come out the wrong way, flush, and it's a big addition and then bounce, right? So look, Lucid didn't really fall far enough that I would have put in a trade, but that's essentially sometimes what you can be looking for there, anticipating that it'll come out the wrong way, it'll be oversubscribed in the other direction, people looking to sell into the potential strength, and then the buys start to come in after the imbalance and everything settles down. Lucid bottom to top there, about $1.50, but it didn't quite get to the target that I would have liked.
Yeah, so I don't know there. You can check your chat there, Neil, but I don't know just on your personal account. Okay, so the triple Qs right now down a little bit here. Yeah, I don't know. We just got out because it broke through VWAP. That was an order I put in for half of what was left. Still, I mean, the Qs, honestly, almost my number one stock here today after grabbing that, right? So, we'll wait to see what's happening right now. But other than that, we'll just wait to see. NASDAQ only down 0.46 right now, actually, not 0.1. And then the Lucid trade looks like it wants to work. Rivian, so we did get out 97 and change there. Nah, doesn't look like that wants to do much here as well. Apple, we knew had oops, that's not AAPL. AAPL is right there. Apple had an imbalance, but you can see here on the 1 minute, doesn't seem like it wants to do anything. Someone keeps saying check Facebook, and I apologize. Wow, Facebook. A big move there for Facebook on the rebalance here today. So that's shooting up $3. Is Facebook even on there? I don't know. So we'll have to see what is happening with Facebook right now on the imbalance locator. I didn't notice it, but it is a nice move to the upside. Was that Brendo again? Oh, someone. You keep saying ready for Kathy, and I know why you're doing that, but let's go over to Brendan right now.
Thanks,
I keep
Randy.
Thinking it's like Valeria.
I know, but that's why I can't tell who we're throwing
ready
to.
For Kathy. Hopefully, Randy, are you on Christmas break at all, or you're here for the next? Oh, great. What's up, Brendan?
Another one making moves, guys. First Financial Bancorp, which is FFBC. a big buy as well. So FFBC going crazy here on that imbalance.
CV the right way.
So like there's a couple here the wrong way. CRM was supposed to be a buy. That came out of sell side like 1 million shares, but it didn't do anything. So it didn't do a huge move, but you see it's like it flushes, but if it's anticipated buy, then it ends up bouncing back into the upside a little bit here. And that snapback trade, like that was it on Lucid. Like what's going to happen in that situation? Remember I said that the algos are so fast that all they're doing is they're just piping in the feed and then firing out that trade to the sell side the second it comes out of a massive sell, and that's what that wick is. But then when traders start to come in and remember that, look, it makes a bit of a bottom down here and starts to reverse, and it's supposed to be a bit of a buy. The anticipation is that it's going to pair off that sell imbalance, and then you get that shoot to the upside. And this is probably the only one that really had that fantastic setup for it. But if I look at Airbnb here, no, Airbnb did the same thing. Right, Airbnb gave you the same look, where it did the flush. It's supposed to be a big addition. It does the flush. It actually broke support. No, it did not break support. It goes to 155 on a dime. That would have been the one. But that's the setup that I was talking about. And now that I don't, I'm not chasing any of these trades. There's only 2 minutes left. There's nothing to do here. I just think if you're ready and locked and loaded, I was looking at Lucid, didn't come far enough. Airbnb came right down to the most obvious support, right here at 155, right here at VWAP, turned on a dime and goes to the high of the day. And those were the two big additions to the indexes. So, that's what we're here to show you guys. Again, it's just about the movement. It's about the price action. It's about, just what you might be able to learn from. And we say this every time. Like, trainees here, when they started on our floor, they don't trade opens and closes heavily. They don't trade on rebalance days or Fed days. They learn from them by watching them and observing and then coming up with a game plan for next time. But you can have a trade plan. You're not forced to execute, because in these movements that you see here with minutes to go as a day trader, when you have to be flat at the end of the day, you don't want to make a mistake at that time. Trust me. I've made keystrokes like with seconds to go at the close, and they're the worst things you can do.
Yeah, my biggest loss was on a day like this. I'm not even going to say the number, but it was a big loss, and it was due to, and it wasn't even a keystroke error. It was just in the last second, everything kind of flipped around, and that can happen. Yep. So, with that being said, let's call it up one more time here just to show you. Let's sort it by size here. Whoops, there we go. So the only thing we can see, so Twitter looks like that will stay, but you're gonna watch here in the last couple seconds, this probably flips. So not flips, but goes from 3.6 to something a little bit lower. Let's see if it can hold it though. So Twitter right now looks like it might be the one to go the other way. So we'll see if Twitter does anything. If it does, maybe I will execute something on Twitter today into the close, but right now it's remaining a sell. Ford was at 8, yeah, so Ford, nice little move to the downside there again. But with only a minute left, man, I don't really know what we're thinking. So let's just take a small trade here. We'll go short.
Twitter is the right way.
Yeah, we're going to go short a little bit on Twitter. I mean, it's not a big trade here for me. We'll see what Twitter wants to do. But for right now, that's what we're doing.
Absolutely. And look, I'm going to watch Airbnb because it had the best move with about 35 seconds to go. Crazy.
Oh, Twitter just paired off.
You did just pair off there. It was a small sell that was going to be anticipated. This time, although we were all very impressed.
I took Twitter short. We'll see.
Yeah, we're all very impressed by Valerius Hops. We're not going to make her jump every single time, Rob. So we're actually going to lower the bell today so Miss V can drop it. Unfortunately, the NASDAQ and the ES both turned red and look like they're going to hold red, but we got to drop the countdown for you. Should be on Ms. V. No one wants to see my ugly mug when the bell's getting lowered. That was a good jump yesterday. That's a good couple of feet there, man. She's got it. 3, 2, and 1. Ring it.
All right, so that's the end of it. I still have Twitter.
Oh, Randy.
Good job, Prad. Prad just looks like he just killed something. So great job by Prad. And we're still waiting for the Twitter print. I don't know if it paired off or what, but there was something there for Twitter. So we'll wait for that. That's a dark pool print. So we'll hopefully get the print now on Twitter and see where we go. So far, so good, guys. Brendan, how did we wind up?
I can show you right across the board some red numbers, unfortunately. To wrap up the week here, guys, 1.03 for the S&P, 1.5 for the Dow. You can see all three of the Russells were in negative territory. It looks like the 2000 got back to the green. The NASDAQ, red as well to end the week, guys. Here in Toronto, looks like we were about flat for the TSX. So overall, could have been a lot worse.
I don't think it printed. So I was just asking
Dominic,
Neil.
yeah, man. Dominic with the super chat there. Verizon boom. You're going to be talking about this. Spiked, broke 53. Its closing print, I can tell you, the closing print was right here at 53.17. So that actually gave you the closing print right at that high. A lot of times that'll happen. Like it's not gonna, it goes right to that morning high, but a good little break there. That looks like it was one.
Like I'm having like a semi-heart attack now, but
is it printed yet?
It's just because it hasn't printed. Like I do have shares on.
It's New York,
Twitter.
man. Like
and that's the thing. It's just a market. Come over to my screen. Just a market function thing here where we have to wait for the NYSE to settle this down, but it's not good that it's up here at 20. So we'll wait to see. We are short there. We took the short because Twitter was on the imbalance, but it hasn't printed an NYSE print yet. So we're short 11s here. Let's see where it prints on Twitter. But hey, what an absolutely fantastic day. Sorry there wasn't a little bit. I mean, hey, look, not sorry. It was an exciting day for all of us, and I hope it was for you too. The market didn't really move as much, and that's sort of what I'm apologizing for. It didn't move a hell of a lot at the close, but you do see some big volume spikes, and I hope, if anything, it was a good educational moment. And I'm getting educated right now, like what's going on with my trade.
I mean, you guys saw
at some point. Go ahead.
You guys saw what happened in Airbnb and Lucid. Like it's not about it coming out the right way or the wrong way, but if you were prepared for it, and I was kind of prepared for it, didn't make the trade, but you could see what can happen, and volatility is going to be here to stay. And we know next year is going to be a volatile year. Yeah, so
like look at this, guys. After all of that, I made 4 pennies. So
boom.
I was like, oh my God, I'm out of the money, 50 cents. Like, what am I going to tell my wife when I go home and everything like that? And then now I can tell her that we can buy a small fake ring because it prints at 07 there. So 11s to 07s, that's the print. Thank you, NYSE DM, direct market maker there on the floor for printing me 4 cents in the money. Woo! Yeah. Thank you to Rob doing it by himself pretty much all day. And then thank you to Randy also for the close there. Oh, they're getting the shot ready. We got the quad box right now. There it is. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for that help. I want to give a big thanks also to Greg today for helping out. He does that every single day. Big shout out to Prad there, who went crazy at the end of the day. He could talk about that on Monday. And it's the quad box. Will Valerius? There he is. What up, Prad? There he is. Peace. Okay. And then does Valeria's mic work? Valeria, any plans this weekend?
Sleeping, eating, relaxing. What about you, Sean?
Sleeping, eating, and relaxing. So Valeria doesn't have any kids, so that's good. On to somebody else who has no kids. Brendan, what's up this weekend?
The same boat. All week long, I will be sleeping, eating, and relaxing, guys. The entire week, Randy.
Yeah, okay, so we'll be missing him next week. Yeah, that's right, Brendan. Yeah, enjoy your week. So you will definitely be missed.
To fill.
But the man, the myth, the legend beside me to the right here, Neil, will be on the big desk, so enjoy that. We will all enjoy that. And then Arun will be sitting in your spot, and it'll be a really fun week. So guys, my kids' hockey just got canceled.
Oh no!
With the numbers. So yeah, my parents were supposed to come. We were going to go out for breakfast after that.
And they're going to start closing like rec centers and stuff. Like,
well, that's what it is. He plays in a rec center.
I'm solo parenting this weekend because my wife is visiting her sister.
Yeah.
Who had just had a baby, and it's like I don't know what to do with her if I can't take her somewhere. It's just
the park. Oh, you know what? It's supposed to snow a lot.
It's cold, bro.
It's cold. Okay. Serenity now. But don't they like the
No, she loves it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, guys, look, it's 4:05. I got to go because my daughter is actually competitive gymnastics tonight at 5 o'clock. I got to get over there. So for everybody at Trader TV Live, it's been a blast. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll check you on Monday. Have a great holiday, Brendan. See you guys.
Bye, guys.